Yes. My non-existent mustache.
I've been cultivating a mustache for a while.
Cultivating? Have you been watering it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm of value to society, so I have to shave.
Oh, shit, man. You've
I'm just
never said
kidding, I'm
anything more
sorry.
fucking true.
I'm
Ow. What an absolute fact. Can that be the opener of the show?
Yeah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Kelsey, and welcome to LDR. Today we've got two guests, pretty much co-hosts. We've got Andy and Charlie. Andy, what's up, man?
I was the one who coughed.
I was the
Blew it.
one who knocked.
He was the one who didn't cough.
We've all seen Breaking Bad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. I say that probably every time to all of my friends, like, you've seen
Basically.
Breaking Bad.
Just checking up on you. You've seen
There have been a lot of
Breaking
people
Bad,
who
right?
have not seen
So,
Breaking
Andy,
Bad
tell
yet.
us your life story. What do you do on the internet?
Not much.
Other than
That's
not
for
much,
sure.
what else?
Oh, gosh. I'm a Let's Player.
Plug your
And-
channel.
No, can't.
Okay.
I gotta do it by the books.
All right. So his name is Andy, and he
Oh,
exists. Charlie,
Yes,
what's happening?
Thank you.
Hey, what's up, man?
So today we're gonna have a few different things to talk about, and I think Cuba had something to do with something.
Oh, yeah.
So
Go for it.
So go for that, Charlie.
The
Yeah, 'cause-
U.S. is going to be initializing diplomatic relations with Cuba for the first time in, what, at least 60 years or
Don't
something?
ask
Not
us.
Because
We
it's
don't
been
know.
since
50
we
years
thought
or so.
like Russia was gonna nuke us, right? That's how long it's
I think
been.
it was, well, yeah, like a few years before then, that's when they turned Cammy.
Okay.
You
So like
bastards.
Stanley Kubrick was making. Which movie was that? It was
Oh my
Doctor
God.
Strangelove. Yeah, look, I'm gonna
Oh
bring up
my
Stanley Kubrick in everything I ever say, so you can get
your
over that.
your whole reference of existence
Yes.
is centered around its relative to Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah,
Like
because that's
see,
how
when
the
I was
world
15,
works.
Stanley Kubrick was
Dead.
buying a latte at Starbucks, which would mean the answer is
He died when I was
35.
4. He died when I
What
was
are you
4.
even talking about?
I don't know. He's insane.
But, yeah, it was one of those
He's
other...
a madman.
The Cuba thing was another failing of American foreign policy. Like, oh, let's insert a dictator, and then they'll have a communist revolt. Yay!
Right, like I mean, if I paid more attention in history class, I'd actually have a good reference point to get into this conversation. But I do
Yeah,
have some
yeah.
idea of what's going on. Like we put in troops and we tried to start a revolution, didn't we?
Yeah, the Bay of Pigs, which fell
Right.
flat on its face.
Right.
Sort
So
of.
that came back into play in the Cuban Missile Crisis because the military thought the Kennedys couldn't do anything, so they were trying to like circumvent them and do their own things and stuff.
It was a glowing, shining period for American politics.
Right. Well, most of American history is just, America doing amazing, never failing, always doing really good, always doing right by everyone, really
It's
being
interesting because
equal.
America is they're like the biggest shitlord out of everyone, but they've accomplished so much through their shitlordiness.
It literally
Yeah.
goes to show, like, crime does pay.
Yeah,
like it's
there it
just-
is. There's
that's
the
what it is,
takeaway.
man.
What's the quote? It's like every great fortune is preceded by a great crime or something
Right.
like that.
Right.
Yeah. That's probably not it.
Yeah.
Because the
It's
person who
something
said it
along
was
those
smart.
Yeah. Right. Alrighty,
But,
so that's the Cuban Missile Crisis thing. But they're opening an embargo, or an embassy is what you were saying, right?
Yeah, they're gonna put an embassy in Havana, so it looks like it is gonna be lifting the embargo to some degree. Who knows?
Okay.
I'm not sure what the actual
Maybe
timetable
that's just so
is.
that
we're
the
gonna get
people
some
who
more-
like
yeah.
planes crash in Cuba have a place to go that's safe.
We're gonna get some more
Yeah, maybe we
Scarfaces
can-
coming into Florida.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, maybe we can start going to Cuba for vacation again.
Yeah.
It used to be like a 50s hotspot for vacation and
Yeah.
stuff.
That's like for real, danger lovers. It's like, all right, today, or rather, like this year, let's go to Cuba or Colombia. What sounds riskier?
I hear Colombia's got a drug problem, and I figure our kids need to learn about that.
I wasn't thinking so much of family. I was thinking more like younger people thinking that. But yeah, I mean, take your family.
Stupid fucking teenagers.
Yeah. I was
Shit,
thinking more
college-aged
like people
twats.
with GoPros and like those wingsuits doing all that.
The people who
crazy shit.
deserve to die.
Yeah,
Wow, that
exactly.
probably, is going to be taken out of context.
Right, exactly. Well, that's the whole point of doing this is so that what we say can be taken out of context.
So that people, do you know Andy says people who own GoPros deserve to die?
Yep, that's exactly what happened there.
Exactly what happened. That is my number one problem with horror movies. Is literally like 20 to 25 minutes in, I've already stopped caring about these people.
Right, right.
There's
Well,
one-
yeah,
there's-
they pretty much are always awfully written and make you want to die, which is why Cabin by the Lake or Cabin on the Lake, Cabin in the Woods. I'm high as a kite. Cabin in the Woods. If you guys have seen that, it's basically a spoof of all horror movies. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
There's one movie that sticks in my mind, which most people I talk to seem to like. It's called The Descent. I don't know if you've ever heard of
That's the cave one, right?
I've heard about you and Matt talking about it on Half-Life.
I hated it just specifically because they're like, all right, girls' night, what are we gonna do? Let's go into this cave that nobody's ever explored before because that's a sport or something. And I was like, all right, terrible idea, but continue. And then they're like, oh no, we got lost and the cave collapsed, probably because we didn't know how dangerous it was because nobody's ever been down here. And so then one chick's like, I can see light, and she starts running like haphazardly like through the fucking cave. Oh, what did you know? Oh, there's a huge fucking hole in the cave because caves do that. And so she like breaks.
Have you
her
never
legs
played
or something.
Minecraft? Like, come on, people.
Have you never walked before? Would be my contribution to that.
Yeah,
I mean, fall into a precipice.
Every horror movie starts out with an awful idea followed by awful characters making
An
awful decisions.
Ideal superseded by awful decisions from awful characters.
Right. That is the formula.
And 3 wrongs don't make a right.
Yeah. 3 rights make a left.
Oh my god, I remember watching a documentary. Well, it was like an hour piece on the Discovery Channel or something of this woman in like the UK somewhere. I was like 10, so I barely remember this. But she had a fear of taking a right turn after an accident in her car, so she would never take a right turn ever. She had to plan her route and like only take left turns. And it would take like, and it was like, they were interviewing the family and like how this affects them. And could you imagine that?
At a certain point, that becomes impossible, though.
What does? Oh, yeah,
only taking left turns, because eventually you're going to run into a place where there's no option.
Yeah, I think it was like one of those like Face Your Fear shows. So
like on a highway, it's impossible not to take a right turn on a highway.
Well, if you're in the UK, then you're on the left side, so you would be exiting from the left.
She would be crossing traffic.
To
take her right turn. She would be crossing traffic.
Right. Yeah, so it makes more sense over there.
That does make more sense. Yeah, because I was like, right turns are like the safest thing you can do.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Okay,
UPS
so that'd be like having a fear of taking left turns in America.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. That makes
still crazy. I mean, it does make a little bit more sense, but it's still
to me, thinking of it makes a little more sense.
Right.
Which would be still a fear of left. Okay, so it would be possible to get on and off the highway with
because you're exiting to the left. I've played Euro Truck Simulator. I know
is that
these things.
Technically a turn? Is an exit ramp a turn?
I mean, no, but it's
technically
like
any alteration from your course could be considered a turn.
Yeah, when you're that kind of psychically
in the
psychologically
prospect of a road though, like just like following the road as you turn, that's not considered a turn though. It's just like just following the road.
That's true. You're going straight on a curvature.
I know, it's like you have to get into the semantics of what is a turn, what really makes her scared.
What? The philosophy of essence of turns.
Yes, exactly.
I thought you were about to say turds.
The
essence of turds. Well, I can talk about that.
Deep turn. That's a turn.
So we've got a few other segments I think we want to talk about. Do we have any more actual news though, other than the Cuban thing?
I got some sex news, I guess.
Let's do it. Literally.
All right. So as always, my topics are drawn from Google and me Googling sex news. No, not from experience.
I was going to say your sick imagination.
Well, when I talk about my dreams, you'll understand that more.
Yeah.
It's called. Well, I told my friends what my dream was, and they were fucking mortified. So I'm sure you'll enjoy it. The article is written by. No idea. It's on Huffington Post College. It says size may not matter as much as you think for college students. And I'm not going to read the article, but the quote that I want to point out is, a small penis can actually be much better for anal sex or oral sex, Bauer said. So take that as you will.
Can you just repeat it?
If I was a girl, I'd probably agree.
Say it one more time.
Can actually be much better for anal sex or oral sex.
Yeah, I mean, why not either?
I don't judge a man when he drops his pants and I see that his penis is not as big as other partners I've had. So, it's all right.
It's good to know.
Is that the whole article?
Basically. The article's like 2 paragraphs if you condensed it and read it
Did it have
Two
one of those
paragraphs.
awesome
I'm surprised
thumbnails?
any college student reads
It
that.
does not. The thumbnails of I wouldn't call her a heftier woman at the Huffington Post Live news wearing a
I
cheetah
think I
print
know who you're
shirt
talking
and
about.
a purple sweater. So I'm not gonna knock her, but
She's probably the same person I always see on there.
yeah, probably.
Yeah, just a regular sex news poster.
Just a
She's-
fiend.
She's got her cheetah jacket on, doing her sex
Oh,
posting.
it's a
thing.
cheetah shirt. She's got a purple sweater on.
Oh, well, shit.
Jesus Christ, leave her alone.
Alrighty. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much to take from that, but
Don't feel bad about your body if you don't have an 8-inch penis. Jesus Christ. It
I
doesn't
mean-
even verify flaccid or hard.
Well, there's the whole idea of the grower and shower thing. So it's like in, sex psychology, which I was taking in college, essentially what my teacher told us, and I think she told us to make us all feel
Please
better.
do not this end up with you being molested.
No.
I don't think I can handle
No,
it.
that's not ever a story that I'm going to tell.
Okay,
Because it
good.
never happened, thankfully.
Okay, good.
She was just saying that, the bigger dicks that are flaccid don't end up actually getting hard, and the small dicks, when they're flaccid, end up, getting harder and bigger kind of thing. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like there's an equilibrium, I'm trying to say. But now we're getting
nice.
into the South Park of, trying to get into the semantics of measuring dicks and, trying to really make ourselves feel better and
Yeah.
owning 4x4
Why don't we just
trucks.
lower the average?
Yeah, exactly.
Statistically impossible, I know. But, follow me here.
Because science doesn't matter when we're talking about dicks.
It's even mathematics.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I guess is mathematics a science? I'd have to.
Yeah, I
No?
mean, I think like it's
it's like a
form.
It's a tool.
Yeah,
of
it's like
science.
a tool, exactly. It's like a way to
Yeah,
get
mathematics
science.
is a tool, but pure mathematics I don't think is a science.
right. Because a science is
math-
kind of
Most of,
something that's
most of the stuff
fallible.
that mathematics does has no application to real life whatsoever.
That's true.
Which is why everyone hates it.
Like triangles.
Well, I'm not talking about like calculus and useful things. I'm talking about more advanced math.
Like triangles.
I mean, triangles aren't the most simple mathematic form, structure, ideal, philosophy,
Yeah.
words.
Esoteric?
Alrighty.
But yeah, on the topic of math though, math is not a natural thing. It is an invention of man.
well,
That's
it's
true. Numbers
a way to
don't even
observe our
exist.
reality, isn't it?
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is it's not self-evident. It's not something you discover. It's something you create to
Right.
be able to
I've had that
describe
problem
stuff.
before where people like say that they've invented something that, isn't invented, it's discovered and vice versa.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, so you guys, Charlie, you were talking to Andy about something. It was something to do with aliens, like they would have already discovered us or something, some kind of
Fermi's
paradox.
paradox.
Fermi's
Okay, yeah.
paradox.
Please tell me what that's all about.
All right,
Go for it,
so
Charlie. You're smarter
it's
than I am.
gonna. Let's see. Can I get some? Oh, no knuckle cracks. All right, that's good enough.
This is
There
why
you
we
go.
need
So-
video.
Basically, the galaxy is huge, right?
I'm gonna
I'm
say
gonna start
yeah.
Well, I
here.
just watched
we're
Interstellar,
start-
so yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty
the
good.
Yeah, we're
galaxy's
starting
huge.
with what, like, was it like 100 billion stars or something like that?
Sure.
You can make up a number. Neither of us will correct you.
Right.
It's a large number. It's
We
very
simply
large. That's all
can't.
that matters. More star. Well, is it more? I think it's more stars in the universe than there are grains of sand on Earth.
Yeah, I've
But
heard that.
anyway,
That's
we're
amazing.
talking about the galaxy, the
Yeah,
galaxy.
you
So
do
there's a
your
lot of
thing.
stuff in the
Yeah.
galaxy. So if you like run the numbers, basically, you would expect that there should be other intelligent life in the galaxy, just because
Statistics.
yeah, the fact of the statistics of it is just like we're made of like if you look at the top 5 common
Let me
ingredients in the
convert
universe.
this to Kelsey to speak for you. Statistically speaking, the chance that us, Earth, being one of the billions to have the right conditions to produce life
right. The
is
Goldilocks
so
zone.
small.
Okay.
Yeah, it's highly hubristic.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's so small that only 1 out of a billion would be possible to prove life. That they're almost the smallness of the one statistic almost dictates the largeness of the other statistic that there must be life.
Right, but at the same time, it's like there's still like a huge amount of chances for there to be life, right? Just not around us is kind of what you're getting
yeah,
at.
Another
that's what I was saying.
another
This-
part of the paradox is like I mean, consider the time scale of human history. It's basically nothing on the time
not.
scale of
Yeah,
the
it's
universe.
literally
You're talking about going from
insanely small.
agriculture to being able to send electromagnetic radiation into space. You're talking
Radiation.
about radiation into space. You're talking about what, 60,000 years maybe
right.
What?
on a time scale of billions.
60,000. What do you mean? Oh, as far as human evolution.
No, as far as from like the first technology, you would probably
Technological
consider, like, agriculture
evolution.
or something.
Is what you're kind
Oh,
of talking about.
I
Going,
see.
like just the fact of like going from like making the first tools in agriculture to being able to like send electromagnetic.
Oh, I see what
radiation
you're
into
talking about, like
space.
Cro-Magnon man.
What you're saying is we're still
stuff.
tying our shoes. We're still learning how to tie our shoes.
Yeah, I'm saying that's basically like a blink of an eye in cosmic.
Well, yeah, he's
time
saying
scales.
more of in the length of the universe. The length of human history is like
nothing.
fractal or
Yeah,
fractional.
In
So
the
one way to
same
think
way.
about Fermi's paradox is like, okay, well, maybe everyone else is at the same point in time we are. That is also like highly statistically unlikely just because of how short that time period is compared to like the rest
The
of
fact
the
that
universe.
our time period would coincide with another one.
Oh, so
Yeah,
what you're
but-
saying is the likelihood that there are other like life forms that are somewhat evolved and sentient, like the likelihood that those exist and at the same time that we exist is incredibly small, kind of thing.
Yeah.
The paradox
Okay.
basically says that given that they either have to be less evolved than us or more evolved than us, and if they're more evolved than us, we would assume that they'd be able to traverse galaxies and we would know of them.
Yeah, basically, like, the odds are they'd either be still microbes or just, like, insanely, utterly crazy evolved past us or whatever.
Well, if they were insanely, utterly evolved past us, then why does that mean we can't ever see them or something?
And
Well, there's a lot to that.
Yeah.
what
Okay.
he's saying, or what I thought the paradox was saying, was that the fact that we haven't seen them by now is not indicative, but it lends credence to the fact that they might not be.
Yeah.
They
Which
might
is a
not.
paradox because they could be,
Right.
and just like driven by in their
Well, the
station
paradox
wagon.
is the fact that since there just are so many bodies in our galaxy, you would expect there to be other life that would be more advanced than us. And then we haven't seen them. So, like, the math doesn't really add up in that sense.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But one solution to Fermi's paradox is that there are these great barriers to evolution where it's just really hard for life to get past a certain point.
Oh, like really, really high walls for us to climb, and it takes forever to get
Yeah.
there.
So there's a few views of it.
We
One
live
of it is that
on a
the wall-
planet of Mountain Dew and Cheetos. We're fat, okay? How are we supposed to get over this wall?
the
It's a
Earth is
barrier.
Mountain Dew is the best drink ever created.
Mountain Dew is not the greatest.
I was drinking. I always drink Mountain Dew when we do these, not intentionally. It just happens to coincide that way. And I drink it, and I'm like, "This is lime green petrol. It hurts. It tastes not so good, but I do it
Not so
anyway."
good.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it doesn't even taste very good. It's like carbonated. We've talked about this, Andy. It's like carbonated
know.
water with some
it's like
kind
fucking
of
nicotine in cigarettes. I just do it because I like it. I like the feeling of Mountain Dew in my mouth.
right,
I don't
right.
drink soda.
Yeah, I don't drink much anymore either. I stopped
Neither do I.
drinking because I started recording, and carbonation isn't good for your throat. But apparently, Andy is just totally impervious to the effects of Mountain
I'm
Dew.
drinking water now.
Oh, good.
I flushed the shit out of it with water.
Good.
Yeah, so basically there's like a few ways to look at that great barrier approach to evolution. One is we're approaching a great barrier, so that means we're probably screwed.
Oh, I see.
and then another is we've made it past the great barrier and no one else really has.
Okay, so no
'Cause,
one.
if you really
right.
think about it, there really is we have no evolutionary basis for why we have like intelligence and consciousness. There's no real apparent reason why life has to become complex from being simple. There's no apparent need
I
to
think
become
there-
more complex.
I think there is.
What would you say it is then?
Technology is all about making things easier
right.
and
More
easier to
efficient
survive.
and more simple to.
More. The problem lies more so the fact that the only reference point, we don't have like 0.5 humans. We have 0 like animals, like primates, which I guess is sort of hubristic to call them zeros, but there's no like in between man and
Yeah.
animal,
No
or
stepping
human
stone.
and animal.
Which is a big
What do you
hiccup
mean?
for a lot of people that won't believe in evolution.
Right.
They,
so
they
what
want
are
to
you
see a
talking
stepping
about?
stone in between
Well-
in between incredibly intelligent humans, and I say that because You know, like I'm just saying we're probably not incredibly intelligent, but
Well,
where
relatively we are.
Yeah, relatively we are compared to
relatively, but
Well,
I mean, like
other
chimpanzees
species.
can still learn behaviors. They can learn how to use a stick to get
yeah,
ants
that's what
out
I'm
of an
saying.
anthill.
That's where we started. But since there's nothing for us as humans to look back in between those and say, yeah, we're evolved, but look at the people in between monkeys and us. They're this level evolved. The problem is that monkeys, they're only so evolved to make their life easier, but they haven't overcome that barrier into technology making life so much easier. So they have technology like sticks and stuff to get, hunt things. And stuff.
So my point is, like, there's no necessarily evolutionary need to go from like that level of intelligence to this level of intelligence.
Yeah, I guess there's no need, but people crave hunger. So one person eventually is like, "Hey, did you know that fire makes you warm in the winter and is less sucky?" And they're like, "Yeah, I agree." And then that's fire. And then somebody's like, "Hey, if you kill this animal, you can wear its clothes, and it makes you not as cold in the winter."
Right. I mean, you can kind of...
That is not what makes us intelligent, though. I saw this on Crash Course the other day.
Ooh.
What do you mean?
Check out Crash Course if you haven't seen them. They're good.
So good.
The ability to learn,
abstract thinking,
the ability to learn from your like from other animals of your same like species or whatever does not make you intelligent.
Okay.
Our intelligence is the ability to take existing designs and tinker and improve upon them.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It's called like collective learning or whatever. You can like pass down learning through generations.
Sure. So you're saying
like
instead
a new
of
generation
like
can learn
memory?
more than an old generation forgets.
Are we getting into Assassin's Creed?
No, shut up, Kelsey. We're talking about science.
Yeah, so a new generation can learn more than the old one forgets.
I see what you're saying. As opposed to a monkey observing another monkey hitting something with a stick and going, "Hey, it's a good idea. I should use a stick." Saying, "Hey, that's a pretty cool idea, but I could put a rock on the end of my stick and be more efficient." I see what you're saying. Okay.
That's what separates us from the other apes, is that ability to tinker.
And that's just eventually snowballed. I mean, for humans, again, this is a snippet of existence, but for humans, 20,000 years is a long time.
Right.
Yes.
Not
but on
for
the cosmological calendar, it's like
it's nothing. But compared to what we've accomplished in the last 50 years, 60 years ago, people still listen to radios.
Yeah.
Over 70 or 80 years ago, we didn't even have electromagnetic waves radiating into space or whatever.
The internet's only 30 years old?
Mass communication tools.
Yeah.
25 years?
Oh, going back to Fermi's paradox, I also heard another reasoning for it. Mm-hmm. As we move into the digital age of like fiber optics and stuff like that, you get less of that electromagnetic radiation going out into space from like the radio days or whatever.
Oh, so less of a chance that something out there will pick up any source of...
Yeah, so it's possible that more advanced civilizations just don't emit.
Oh, I see.
Like stuff like that anymore.
And
it's
our
much
level
more controlled
of
and precise
harvesting
and everything
is not up to the caliber
of
picking up those faint
Michio
signals.
Kaku also had another thing as to why we might not be hearing any alien
Love that
signals.
guy.
They could be going over us right now as I speak, but apparently how we search for signals is only narrow band, so like one frequency at a time.
Oh, okay.
But broadband transmits signals at different frequencies at the same time. So if you don't know what like the key
frequency
is to look at that broadband signal, you don't know what it's like saying. It's just noise, basically.
Right.
We can, pretty much all equate all of this to the documentary made by Stanley Kubrick in 2001. We all evolved from monoliths. Those big black things, man. That's the monkeys touched it and bam, we're throwing rocks in the air.
We're getting into one of those things where it's like I don't even dislike Stanley Kubrick. Just the amount that you talk about him makes me hate him.
Just wait until I start getting into Kanye West again.
Just fucking Kubrick.
Oh, I wanted to get in that Kanye West so badly because I do like his music.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Charlie.
God, I don't want to be on the minority. I can't.
But I like his old stuff, like Flashing Lights and like all that. It's like
Is
very
that
unique.
old though?
Kind
that
of
was
beats and
one of his
stuff he had
latest
going on.
albums. It was like
Flashing Lights. No, that's really old. That was in GTA 4.
Yeah, but that was only like what? Almost.
He didn't start making music till like the mid 2000s or something, right?
Look,
he was a producer before then.
I don't even know. Just the album with like the naked lady thingy on it. Not the naked lady thingy on it, but like the red one where you could switch out all of the different pictures and customize your own album cover. That's the one that I bought and I loved the entire album. It was My Beautiful Twisted Secret or whatever the hell it is. If that's what you're talking about, flashing,
Okay, I
flashing
don't know. I know like a
lights,
few
lights.
songs. I could just like say some lyrics if you would recognize them or something.
Yeah, I mean like Monster
Yeah, I'll go
Power.
take a break or something, I guess. You guys
It's like
are
the
just
one song. There's like the one song. It's like the Gold Digger or whatever. That's a pretty good song.
Yeah, that was before
this
that one.
is the perfect affirmation of my points.
Okay, yeah, you were saying like there's like no meaning behind the lyrics. There's always like
No,
meaning behind the
I'm saying
lyrics.
there's
It's like
no
the
meaning.
it's like the end user's interpretation of the lyrics. It's
Exactly.
like, that's all that matters ultimately, isn't it?
Oh no, I'm getting
'Cause I mean,
outclassed here.
In like a college level course, they always ask you to like interpret things your own way and like what people are saying and stuff like that.
I wish my college was like that.
Yeah, but I mean, I do think there's a threshold for subjectivity.
Well, not with music. Music is the most subjective medium ever.
Yeah,
well,
music
it's
is
not
just-
music
yeah.
though; it's words.
But that's the
It's
thing. Like
language.
you hear the words, and I just hear the words as like I just hear it as like another instrument. Like
Yeah,
I
know
don't
what you're saying
I
with
don't
that
look
too,
I don't
Kelsey.
look
Unless I consciously listen to lyrics, I'm
Yeah.
not really understanding
That,
what's
that
said.
could just be a differential like interest in music.
Yeah, like I do normally try to listen to the lyrics and like hear what the story is about with the musician, but like not always. And for Kanye West music, that's definitely not something that's necessary to enjoy his music. You really don't need to search for meaning in his lyrics. You just kind
Sure.
of feel that bass and enjoy the tunage, basically.
I believe
on
I
the-
picked up on something about gold dick, something like
Gold digger.
that. Gold digger. Oh, okay.
And she ain't looking for no broke N words.
Right. Yeah. There's
Something that
nothing-
Ain't
rhymes
messing
with
no
digger
gold
that
diggers.
none of us
Ah,
are
She ain't
classified
looking
to
with no
say.
broke
I'm sure you
N-words.
guys have all heard about that Fox News one where they're like, which is a worse word, cracker or the N-word? It's like probably the one that you can't say.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal this
Yeah.
bit from John Mulaney, but if you can't even say one of the words, that's probably the worst word.
Yeah.
Oh, there was some graphic on Fox News the other day about, I think it was on the O'Reilly factor or something. It was about like the number of white deaths by cops versus the number of black deaths per cops. And like, of course, the gross number of white deaths per cops is going to be higher because there's more white people. Like a more accurate number to present would have
Right.
been the
I
ratio
see what you're
of
saying.
like people
Yeah.
killed
Right.
per population. If you look at it that way, it's like twice as high for black people as it is for white people.
O'Reilly's like, what are you guys even complaining about? You know, only a few black guys die. It's not even a big deal.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
My goal in life is to get more people to think scientifically is all.
Yeah, I mean,
agree.
think with reason and, you know, like critical thinking. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
Just question
Like,
the world around you.
I agree.
There's this Neil deGrasse Tyson thing where he just like bringing up some of like the think critically things, you know, like on an airplane they might say, you know, 80% of people who read the safety pamphlet lived or whatever.
Oh,
It's like
Right.
it's like, well, you're not telling the whole story. What about the people who didn't read the pamphlet? Maybe 100% of them lived. Like you never know.
right. Well, there exactly. You have to find the difference between correlation and causation. Like, there's definitely a correlation between, as one of my professors had said, there's a correlation between eating ice cream and shark attacks. Now, there's absolutely no causation, but
Yeah.
or putting on sunscreen and shark attacks.
There we go.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, there's a lot of correlational evidence, but it's like you're just drawing lines in between two things. They don't actually
right,
cause each
that's
other.
because you are at the beach and there are sharks at the beach.
Yeah. We're not trying to make people
Yeah.
scared of sharks. Sharks aren't going to kill you. You're more likely of dying by falling off your sofa than actually getting killed by a shark. So
Yeah.
if you're scared of sharks,
not-
definitely don't go near your sofa.
I'm so
on that same topic with
curious
like
of
all
those
these mass
statistics,
shootings
though.
and everything
Yeah.
like that. I feel like the fact that we have like instant media and connectivity makes it seem like these things are much more, you
Yeah,
know, like
blown
at
out of
our
proportion.
doorstep or right interacting with our lives. When in fact, I can say with confidence that none of us will ever be involved in like a school
Oh, I see
shooting
what
or
you're.
something.
Yeah, the mass media definitely brings these problems to your front door, to your
Yeah,
palms.
they make highly improbable events seem very probable.
Right.
Not
well,
to
because
mention, yeah, I mean, I was just
it's
going to say,
concentration.
yeah, not to mention the fact that they absolutely, you know, they villainize the people who do the shootings. They put their faces everywhere and
Oh,
make
right.
future killers want that attention.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. Because
so you're
exactly.
perpetuating the absolute worst thing. You need to put the faces of the victims, you know, not the people who are
right,
killing them.
the psychopathic, sociopathic, narcissistic, whatever their ailment may be that pushes them to this.
Right. Right. And of course, Grand Theft Auto was the reason that they did that in the first place.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right. Or to go back to Columbine, Doom.
Yeah, Doom.
Oh god,
Dude, those
Doom,
guys,
yeah, let's shoot aliens.
they-
That makes me want to kill the bully at school.
They made Doom levels that you can actually go play, those guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they made levels in Doom that you can play. It's really surreal. It's really weird.
Oh, I thought you meant like they, as in like abstract. They made like real life Doom levels, like with virtual reality or something.
Oh, them. Dun 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 dun.
The beings
Yeah, like,
that are watching
is that like
us.
just an English language thing, like abstract you and abstract they or whatever?
The royal eye and the
Yeah,
royal
the
we.
royal. I know that from the
Is that what it's
Biblical
called?
House.
Royal? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I
is.
don't remember what they mean. I looked them up once and I was like, "Psh, that's stupid.
Well, it's like saying...
You'll say something like,
Go ahead.
you'll say something like, you know what happened? I can't think of an
It's
example.
saying,
Like,
like,
when
You
when
know
say
what you
in
never
an abstract
notice?
sense,
You
but
never
yeah.
notice how blah blah
Yeah.
blah. That's
Yeah.
the royal you, I think.
Right.
Okay, that's
that
royal.
refers
I was
to
calling it
everyone.
abstract.
Yeah.
Abstract. I don't know. Probably. Who cares?
I was just making it up.
Language
Royal
is
sounds
silly
right.
and
English
totally
teacher's
broken.
job to make English as difficult as possible.
Right.
It's the English language's job to make English as difficult as possible.
You're not wrong.
And everyone thinks the English language is deteriorating and becoming worse and worse when it's really just evolving and changing. Not
It's just
necessarily for
changing.
the better or
This
worse.
is how it always
Yeah,
is.
it's just-
Like,
it's
the old
always been
generation
changing.
always says the new generation is bull hockey
Right.
and
I,
baloney
again,
and crap.
correlation and causation. I think just the correlation is people are becoming stupider, and that's scientific. Do not fight me on that. That is science.
But we're
and so-
progressing in technology. How could we be
Well,
de-evolving?
are the masses becoming more stupid, but a smaller and smaller percentage are becoming ever more smarter?
I don't know if I'd read an article or watched something about it, but it had to do with the fact that we've evolved to a point where we now don't need or don't view the act of what's that called? Natural selection anymore. So now
we're over that. That
Natural
we haven't had natural
selection,
selection for
yesterday.
a while.
But natural selection would dictate that the smartest keep on getting smarter and whatever. But since we don't have that, we help people who aren't as intelligent as we are. Biologically, we're not as smart as we could be, and at times are making future generations smarter by inbreeding, if you will, the intelligent with the less intelligent.
Yeah, I was watching
It's
I was
idiocracy.
hearing a biologist talk about that, and he was saying like technology is actually like a means of evolution.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
Like advancing technology makes us more evolutionarily advanced, if you will,
In regard to what aspect?
in regard to like our ability to like increase our mental capacity. Because like even if
In
people are
regard to
stupider now,
think.
like people know more stuff now than they did like
Oh,
50 years
You
ago.
mean like
or
the
whatever.
Lucy drug?
What?
What?
Like that one drug that
LSD?
chick took in the movie Lucy that
Oh my
made her
God.
brain take 100% of her brain power?
That is
Oh,
one
that's
of
like
stupid
the
shit.
strongest movie tropes in the world. It's like, they say you only use 10% of your brain. No, you don't. I'm gonna. If anybody's
I'm
listening
pretty
to
sure
this
you use
and you
100%
think
of your brain,
you're
that's why
using
it's all
10% of your
there.
brain, I've got good news. Or bad news? I guess it'd be bad news.
Yeah.
You're using all of it. You're this stupid
Yeah.
and you're using all of
Like
it.
why
Right.
would it not be there if you're not using all of it?
Right. It makes no
It's just like
sense.
10%
Actually,
is
yeah.
like just.
I agree.
Isn't it supposed to be just like 10% is like your conscious mind or something like that?
Basically, yeah. Well,
The rest of it's just like subroutines
So-
and stuff.
well,
Going
The
on.
breathing,
idea-
autonomic.
The idea I was
yeah.
going to
stuff.
say is that if you could use 100%, you could literally become God.
You could
And
control
move
the universe
arrows.
around you.
You could
stop
just
time.
be
Yeah.
consciousness,
But
traveling through
one
time
of the
and
things
space.
that Charlie said that's interesting is, yeah, if you weren't using parts of your brain, I think naturally they just succumb to atrophy and die.
Right.
Yeah, I'd want to say that, but then we have like tailbones and appendices.
and pinkies.
Spleens.
Sure. And probably all those little toes that we don't need anymore because we don't grab tree branches with our feet anymore.
I hate pinkies.
Toes are very useful for running.
I was gonna say I think toes are important.
I mean, I'm sure eventually we'll have 3 fingers, like the
That
4
poor-
that aren't the thumb will just meld into
Well,
2.
we do have toes that are like short and stubby, not like long and lanky. Like
Well,
Tree apes and
right?
stuff.
They
But
don't.
they're good for
they don't
balance,
go-
is what I'm saying.
yeah,
Try to
they
run
probably
without
are for
toes.
planting. And,
I was gonna say
yeah.
they're evolved to suit our needs right now.
yeah.
Right. But eventually we're going to become Wall-E like fat people that have completely, turned into
Oh God, I
blubber
hope so.
and no bone
Oh,
structure at all.
Were
You
they
know why
actually
our backs are
blubber
so
and all that?
bad?
Hmm?
Do you know why our backs are so bad?
Oh yeah, you told me about this.
Because we sit.
It's because we evolved to stand up straight too quickly.
Yeah.
Our bones have not caught up with us yet.
Wow.
Yeah, this is cool. I remember us talking about this a while
That's
ago.
incredibly interesting. So we stood up too quick for our bones to catch up with us. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, like if you put in another 100,000 years of evolution, no one would probably have bad backs anymore.
The concept there being that we have too much stress on our back that our back hasn't evolved to take yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh.
But yeah, evolution does not happen anymore because of just how interconnected humanity is. There aren't any isolated pockets of humanity anymore,
Right.
and that's how you get evolution.
We
So
still
there was
have
interesting-
genetic differentiation, though. Surely.
Well,
Yeah, but not
debatably.
natural selection and evolution in the pure sense of like isolated populations change to adapt to their surroundings or whatever.
Right.
Well,
right.
that
Because we
and-
just don't need to adapt anymore. So that.
No, it's because we're so interconnected that we don't get isolated populations that can evolve.
you
and
need
speciate.
an isolated population continuously inbreeding with itself, enhancing whatever mutation they have until it becomes
Right. Something
Yeah,
predominant.
to speciate.
right. Whereas right now,
yeah,
since we have so many, we don't have any isolated pockets.
Those genetic
things
are
dissipate.
just dissipating. Yeah, they're dying
Right.
off because we're not inbreeding. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's incredibly.
So have you heard of a generation ship as a potential means to travel to like other star systems and stuff?
No. Again.
So that would basically be you send off a ton of people on the ship and they just
Oh.
like go for hundreds of years just making people on the ship until they get to somewhere else.
Oh, I got you. That's an interesting.
In that case,
is
you
that
could
is that a
start to have-
concept? Like a
That
thought
is a concept.
experiment?
Are we
Or
doing
is
that right now?
Well,
it's a thought experiment.
yeah, is it a thought experiment or is it something like we could do this someday? We could.
No,
try
there's a
it.
point to this.
Oh,
There's a
okay.
point to this of what we just talked about. So like
yeah, because
that would be an
they would
isolated
evolve.
population where you would start to get some natural selection going
Right.
on. And
Probably not
stuff like
good
that.
natural selection though, because whatever environment they arrived at, they would be completely unsuited for.
Well, that's why
Yeah.
you point them in a direction that's suitable for them, right?
Well,
yeah, so I mean,
right.
if those people came back, they could potentially be like slightly different than like humans on Earth or whatever.
then we
But
get
if they were
deployed,
slightly
I'm a-
different in a bad way, they would
Yeah.
die.
Yeah,
Or
I'm
at
talking
least-
about like a generation ship that would go for like tens of thousands of years.
Oh, I
or
see what
something
you're
like
saying.
that.
It's like
Right.
Noah's
Well,
Ark, but it can fly.
still.
Yeah, and then here's
It's
also
like Noah's
the
Ark that flies. All right,
Here's the,
Noah, we got your turbine boosters. Did you want wings with that? How much extra are the wings? Like
20
gold
piece?
pieces.
12
Oh
piece.
boy,
Yeah.
I only brought enough for tolls. You take like loans? Nah, sorry, I'm a space guy. I don't do loans.
That brings me
It's
back to
kinda weird.
Ratchet and Clank for some reason.
here's the ironic thing about that generation ship
Yeah,
though.
you had a point to that.
So if you send these people off on a generation ship, just for the sake of argument, let's assume that humanity just keeps advancing and you don't have to worry about speed of light or physics like ceilings.
Don't worry
on us
about the
right now.
science. Just listen to what I'm saying.
You're going to get to a point where there's going to be a ship that can just get to where they were going so fast that they just like pass them and get there first, and then the generation ship just like gets there and it's like, what are you guys doing here?
Really? Oh, so you guys decided to take the 415 and you weren't hungover in Denver or delayed in Denver. Laid over. Is that what it is? Layover? Yeah.
Yeah,
the
layover.
layover.
My joke's falling
Yeah, so
apart.
I that's kind of like black humorous in one regard that they would just get beat by more advanced humanity later on or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Bum, bum, bum.
That's
Bum,
amazing.
bum, bum. It's like a Twilight Zone episode. Also, on
why
the topic of the Twilight Zone.
Thank you for your shirt.
Oh, you're welcome. I was watching possibly one of like the 5 top, most known Twilight Zone,
yeah.
The Man on the Wing. Where
Oh, yeah.
William Shatner's on a
There
plane.
were 2 different episodes of that.
Were there really?
I think there may have been 3 even. But yeah,
Yeah.
Go
Whatever. William Shatner, a very young, very handsome William Shatner, is on a plane after having a psychological breakdown on a plane, which then gives credence to why he's looking out the window and seeing some sort of creature
Bigfoot.
on the wing.
someone on the wing.
Yeah.
Some.
Some creature
I'm sorry,
on the
what were you
wing.
saying?
But one of the greatest things ever is he takes out a cigarette and lights it, and his wife goes, "Don't light that." And I was like, "Yeah, thank you. I don't want your recycled smoke." And she's like, "The sign says no smoking yet, or the no smoking sign is on." And I was like, "Oh right, it's the '60s."
Yeah, that's
That it?
one of
Don't-
those things where you're just
Don't
like,
smoke on an airplane.
yeah, you would never want to smoke on the air. Oh wait, no, it's just
You know what's
not there
Oh,
yet.
right, that. And then he opens the door on the plane, I think, at one point.
Oh,
and
yeah,
nothing
and
happens.
depressurizes it.
Yeah,
And
nothing
it's like
happens.
a set, and people are like, why did you open the door? It's cold.
Yeah, it's drafty.
You know what's funny about airplanes though with no smoking?
What's funny,
the
Joe?
the bathrooms still have ashtrays or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
That's funny. I haven't been on an airplane in forever.
I go on an
Yeah.
airplane all the time for important business stuff. Mostly to Care Bear conventions.
To furry Care Bear conventions.
Yeah, well,
Are you getting your Care Bear suit?
Bears. I'm Moonlight Sparkle Bear.
Did you get poisoned at that furry convention or whatever?
What? Talk to me,
you not
man.
hear about that?
What?
Someone dispersed like an aerosol
Anthrax?
poison at a furry convention, and like
Jeez.
18 people went to the hospital or
Christ.
something.
Was it
Like Fox News was trying to figure out what a furry was.
I
That's
can
the
imagine.
best part is Fox
Yeah.
isn't like, why is this happening? Why are people so just fucked?
Apparently, like one of the guys like got like he just walked off the set or something. No, it was one of the women, the woman host, co-host on the Morning Joe. She just like walked off the set
What prompted that?
because she couldn't deal with what a furry was or what they do.
I
She's
feel
like,
the
so
same
you're
way.
telling me that people in animal costumes are having sex, but just through their animal costumes.
I can't handle this
That's too
reality.
much for me.
And they throw wolf piss on each other. You telling me that?
They shit on each other and mark their territory?
I feel
Good
like
God.
we're completely misrepresenting the subculture.
Oh, yeah,
But,
completely.
I think the wolf piss thing is from like CSI
But
or
it's
something.
funny.
Dude, CSI
so we're
is
gonna
the
do
biggest-
it.
Yeah, it's
Did you know CSI is still going on?
No,
Like the original one is still going on.
not the one where he like says something stupid and then goes yeah, and then puts on his sunglasses or whatever. How it goes.
It's the one that had Gus Grissom on it or whatever.
Oh,
that one's
yeah.
like still going
Wow,
on. Like
This makes me really
they're
happy.
still
I've
making
never
new
seen
episodes
it.
of that, but he's not on it anymore. I remember they put Lawrence Fishburne on at one point. I'm not sure if he's still on.
Lawrence Fishburne is really good at killing things, like related to shows and stuff. And I don't mean that in a
Stop
mean
trying
way.
to hit me and hit me.
Yeah, I don't mean that in a mean way, but like everything he's been on has been like, all right, so that one guy we really liked, he quit. Let's get Lawrence Fishburne on here. Let's fish this up.
Can I just say that The Matrix is one of my favorite movies?
Oh shit! I was thinking of what's that other guy's name?
Matrix is amazing.
Forrest Whitaker.
Oh,
I thought you were going to be saying like Denzel Washington when you
No.
just say Forrest Whitaker.
Lawrence Fishburne and Forrest Whitaker are phonetically the same to me, because I'm fucked up in the head a lot. Oh, Lawrence Fishburne, the guy from The Matrix. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
Morpheus.
never mind.
Also known as
Yeah.
Morpheus.
Also
Yeah.
known as Morpheus.
That's
yeah.
what I would call him on
Are you
the
paying
street.
attention?
Say, hey,
Are you
Morpheus.
looking at me? Or are you looking at the woman with the red dress? Look again.
Oh, just-
Freeze it.
Can we just reenact The Matrix?
Yeah, that'll be the
Shot
rest of
for
the hour.
shot. Dun dun dun.
If you
Dun,
die in
dun,
the
dun.
Matrix,
Dun,
you
dun,
die
dun,
here.
dun, dun, dun,
The body cannot live
dun,
without
dun,
mind.
dun, 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 dun.
Until he figures it out.
Until he figures it out.
And then they make 2 other movies that are highly regarded as shit.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. They did not need to be made.
No.
The first Matrix had
I don't
It
remember
had-
how the first one
It was
had
like the first
closure.
Star Wars. It was like,
How does
that's
the-
it, we're good. Thank you.
the first 3 Star Wars or the first Star Wars?
The first Star Wars completely wrapped up everything.
Yeah, you're right. I kind of feel like I'd be gypped
It-
though with all the
it did, but
lightsabering that was going
the
on,
two-
and then
yeah.
therefore
Oh, yeah.
the lack of
Of course.
lightsabering.
Of course.
But the 2 other Star Wars, I feel like were more justified than the 2 other Matrix movies.
Oh, easily,
completely.
easily,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they're much better than the other 2
Yes.
Matrix movies too.
Yes.
Well, I mean,
Except for the
one of the things
Ewoks.
to keep in mind is, like, for example, Tolkien intended, I believe he intended the 3 Lord of the Rings books just to be one book. But
Yeah, they
they
were
made
one
him
book originally.
make it a trilogy. So I don't know if Star Wars was that way, but I don't think The Matrix was.
I believe Star Wars, I mean, I'm sure Lucas, like, wanted to make more after it, but he
Right.
definitely did the whole, close up shop so that
Close
in
up
case
the-
it totally
in
fails.
case it didn't do good,
yeah.
or do well.
Which is, like, a good thing to do as an artist.
Yeah, I would much rather prefer closure, like, sort of not shaky closure, but closure where I'm like, I want more of this
Yeah,
than a movie
yeah.
that's just garbage, but the fact that there could be more makes you want to see the movie, but it was so garbage that they're not going to make more to it.
It's like the ending of the season
like-
2 of Twin Peaks. It's like there's enough. There's actually really no closure. There's just a whole bunch of cliffhangers, and it's like, yeah, that show got canceled. Sorry. There's
Yeah, I
basically
mean, just
no
like
closure.
the end of the Matrix is just like very much closure.
Oh, yeah.
for
How
the
does
end of
the
that
first one
Matrix
end?
there. He like destroys the agent.
Yeah,
and then
he
like,
becomes the one that he was
Yeah.
he was told he was the one. He found out he wasn't the
Right.
one. Then he became the one, and then he did a Superman
He starts
fly
seeing
off.
the code on the walls and like
Right.
Does
kills
he?
Agent Smith.
Yeah,
Oh,
And then
I
they,
know
like-
the ending. How close to the ending is the part where he goes in and rescues Morpheus?
oh, that's like
that's
midway
decently
through.
close, but that's like
No,
I'd
I
say
think-
3/4 of the way through or something.
I think that's more like midway through.
Really?
Oh,
No,
oh,
no,
you mean the
that's-
helicopter thing?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that's like 3/4.
Go to save Morpheus might actually be like that might start halfway through, but it like ends like 3/4 of the way through.
Yeah.
Okay, and then what
you're
happens is that the one where the like the Fink guy, like he gets possessed by like
How do you mean?
the bad guy who's like, I know it's not a real steak, but it tastes like real steak.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
I remember
is that the
Yeah,
one where
except
he
he's-
gets possessed, or is that later
He's
on?
not possessed. He's just a traitor.
No, yeah, he
Well,
just straight up.
no,
traits traitors.
doesn't
No, he's making a conscious decision to fuck them over so he can go back.
no.
into the
Doesn't he
Matrix.
get possessed later on by Mr. Smith? Like, doesn't he go into him and Neo's like having a psychological breakdown and he's like punching?
No,
him?
that's a
Yeah.
different guy.
Oh, is it?
Cypher from the first movie gets killed.
Yeah, he does. He gets all
Tank.
like
No,
fizzied.
not Tank. Yeah, Tank. He gets killed.
Yeah.
No, it was-
Because the bad guy
Yeah,
fizzies
Tank.
Tank, and then Tank is like, I'm a big old guy and I don't die from one fizzy, and then he like
Oh.
fizzies.
I saw The Matrix when I was 13 and was
Yeah,
like,
me
that's
too.
enough.
you haven't seen it anymore after that.
I might have. I've seen the second one.
What
a
the
couple
fuck,
times
Andy? You
on
haven't
TV.
watched it like every year as a normal human being does?
You haven't tuned in every November 12th for The Matrix on AMC? It's like fucking clockwork. You go, it's
like the-
oh my
yeah.
god, The Matrix is on in Tuba. You just lose control of your vocal cords because you're so excited that Christmas has come again and you
Dude.
can see The Matrix
It's like one of the few movies I own on like VHS that I'll still watch.
on VHS.
Yeah.
My friend has Mallrats on VHS.
Oh, really?
I love Mallrats.
I never got through
Just-
Clerks.
Yeah, neither did I. I couldn't do it.
Mallrats is good, and you'd like
Yeah,
it.
it probably is. I've heard a lot of good things about that Kevin Smith guy.
Yeah, I have too. Yeah.
All I know is that he made a movie off of credit cards, and that's incredibly inspiring, although completely unrealistic.
Incredibly inspiring. Stupid, perhaps.
Well, it was
Okay.
amazing because he made the money back, but it's like,
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's like if
well,
I
it was
were-
a huge gamble.
oh, completely, yeah. Like if I put 20K in on credit cards and don't make my money back, it's like, okay, so rest of my life is screwed. Cool.
So
Yeah, royally fucked.
you guys are entitled to half of my body. I'm gonna let you choose because I'm that kind of a guy. I would prefer to keep the top half. That's just me. Again, your choice. But I don't really use the bottom half that much. I feel like a wheelchair would be all right with me.
You can just take half, do what you want with it.
And again, vertical, not an option. Got to go horizontal. You're not splitting me in half vertically. Sort of renders the other half useless, I think. Breaking news! Today, I went to the comic book store.
So we're gonna start on Dream Time now. Andy, I think you wrote down a dream. Go ahead with it.
I did Dream Time. Hopefully, if we get large enough, is sponsored by, what is that app?
Oh, it's Lucidity. Yeah. So
Lucidity. the
this
app that I
podcast
use to
has been
record
brought
my
to you
dreams.
by Lucidity. Not really. Please don't sue us.
Yeah. Unless you like us, then congratulations.
Yeah. Somehow some
You're
corporate thing
sponsoring
like us.
us. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to read verbatim what I wrote down at
Perfect.
6:30 in the morning, and then I'm going to explain to you what it means.
Okay.
Okay, so what I wrote was man about to make drink some kind of blood from chalice while kneeling before he chops off my head. Beforehand, I was in the other room trying not to make eye contact with an ex-girlfriend, and finally, in between these two events, I was talking to a friend about a movie where Bill Murray also finds a group of Boy Scouts in a mine who died of natural gas poisoning, and he poses them and shit. I also dreamt I invented the Roomba, the organic Roomba. So as you can tell, there's a lot to decompress there.
Yes, there is.
To unpack.
Unpack it.
Yeah, so let me set this up from what I recall now. From what I
Wait,
recall,
can I ask you
was at
something real quick?
like a fancy like party for psychologist people, and I saw a girl that I used to date there. I was like, oh god, got to avoid eye contact. So naturally, what happened was I just stared at her the whole time. And so then, avoiding that situation, I left the room into what was like a palace, and there's no way to illustrate this any better than I can talk about it, but it was a weird palace. But I was sitting on a couch in the palace, just a couch in the middle of a room with a big TV, and I was sitting with my friend, and we were watching a movie where Bill Murray is the star. And you ever seen Dinner for Schmucks?
I have.
Nope.
You have? Okay, so you know how the main character like makes the little like taxidermist mice?
Yeah.
That's what Bill Murray was doing with these Boy Scouts who died in like a gas leak in a mine for some reason. Again, I have no idea. But and I was talking to my friends like, yeah, I love that movie. It's fucking disturbing, but I love it. So Bill Murray, I've got a movie pitch to talk to you about after the show. And then finally, the weirdest, I think it's a reoccurring dream that I've been having over the past couple of weeks, but it's like I've either, this is the second life that I've lived, or I'm about to live a second life, and in order to do that, or because of that, some sort of weird like divine being makes me drink this like bowl full of nondescript blood, and then when I do that, he chops off my head, and that either ends the second life that I was given or starts the second life that I'm about to have. So I'm worried a lot about the people who are in close proximity to me, because I might be a danger to myself and others.
Oh my gosh, this is very much like Twin Peaks.
So, and then the organic Roomba bit was about like it was weird because this is one of those things where it's like you have a dream, a sequence, then you like don't dream, and you wake up, you roll over, whatever, and then your second REM sleep, you dream again.
Yeah, you usually dream a lot faster when you wake up and then go right back to sleep. Like you'll dream immediately, kind of thing.
Right.
Sure.
I had a dream that I was like in a store on a street corner, and I had like a takeout bag, and on the takeout brown bag was the picture of a Roomba with like the USDA stamp of organic, and I was like, come on, get a Roomba. It's organic.
Okay, what the fuck's a Roomba? Is that like a vegetable?
No, it's that automated robot vacuum cleaner thing.
I was gonna say.
That's why it's fucked up. Yeah, it's the little circular like
it's the robot that cleans your floors.
That bumps into stuff and vacuums, and you don't have to deal with it. Yeah, so that's
I don't want to deal with your shit, Roomba.
That's what happened last night.
Oh, alrighty.
Hopefully,
hell of a
that's
dream.
because wow.
I thought you said you had a dream something to do with Santa.
No,
Santa
that was
Claus.
No, that was Sanitary Claus.
Oh, I don't even know.
That was me in the mirror being a schizophrenic and just adapting the persona of Santa, who's really concerned about cleanliness. Like he comes down the chimney, but he's like trying to come down the chimney and not get soot all over him. And then like a little girl comes, he's like, Santa, can I have a hug? And he's like, ooh, God, ooh, I'd really not like to.
What'd you make your cookies out of?
Who made these cookies? Who touched them? Did your mom touch them? Is this glass clean? I'm just gonna use the front door, because I feel like if I go back up the chimney, this situation's just gonna get worse.
Oh my god.
Please don't kill me.
That is a skit.
That's Sanitary Claus.
Please don't make me a lamp.
And the worst fucking part is I stare into my eyes in the mirror as I switch characters. I'm just this schizophrenic person having an argument with himself in the mirror.
You act like you can't control this. You're like, and the worst part is I stare into my own eyes.
Well, yeah, you're blowing this wide open, Charlie. Oh no, I can control it. I just choose not to.
Oh god.
But
okay.
I let it happen, I guess. It's more of a sin of omission than anything else.
Oh man.
I let these things happen.
Do you do this with people around, or only when
Oh
the house
no,
is
only
empty?
alone. God, no. What people would stay around for Act 2 if I did this when people were around?
Probably Matt.
Probably Matt, yeah. But nobody I care about.
I'm sure Matt would like to hear that.
I'm sure he would. But no, I try and present a relatively sane persona when there are other people around.
You've been doing good by me, but
Oh, thank God.
it's starting to.
It's unraveling.
The facade is starting to fade.
I shouldn't have, back to the dream with the sanitary clause bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you're just batshit crazy.
If I'd have had like some anecdotes about how I hate buying milk from the grocery store in there, you guys have completely been thrown off the scent.
It's funny you mentioned milk.
Because?
Kelsey, have you seen the video of Andy pouring milk over
Oh
himself?
yeah, have you
What
seen
the
that?
fuck?
You haven't seen that?
No.
No.
I
Matt
have
and
a-
You should probably watch it
I
right
have a
now.
laptop with internet.
Matt and I ran a competition of games, and I lost in the fourth quarter due to some bullshit of Mario Party. And so
Is this on Pudgy Buddies?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh my
I'll find it
God.
and I'll link it to you. But don't link it to anybody else. It's on the internet, which means only people I want to see it can.
Right.
So milky.
I basically look like I'm in a porno, like you cut me out of a porno
I've
and put
seen
me
some
into
of
this
those
situation.
on like those late night shows where they talk about like UK porn. I forget what the hell show that was.
UK porn.
Look, they
Almost.
almost
Almost.
There we are.
There we go. Good show.
Yeah.
in not America they like have porn on late night on normal television shows.
Really?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
don't censor it. And so there was a show talking about that. I think it was on G4. When G4 was a thing. But I remember like
Yeah, you mean Esquire?
yeah, well Esquire now,
Yeah.
which is just a
I linked it to
travesty.
you, but
Okay.
you should watch it later and not interrupt the show.
Oh boy, that's
No, you should
gonna
watch
be...
it now. We should get your live reaction to
Okay.
it.
Yeah, I guess we probably should.
So, Charlie, tell us about your dream that you totally didn't forget to record or anything.
All right. So it involves.
Did he make this?
Me
Is
and-
he making this up? Can I go back and retroactively say that I made mine up and not look like a crazy person? Is
No,
that
no,
on
no,
the
you're
table?
The dream
You're
I've had
insane.
before in my life. It involves like me and my brother going into like the basement or whatever in the middle of the night,
Interesting.
and we're both like young children, and it's very dark, and my brother decides to just go into the basement, and you can't see anything down there, and then I just hear like what I presume was a witch screaming, and then I just like wake up.
Wow. So you played Left 4 Dead with your brother.
I played the
Base.
Blair Witch.
The Blair Witch, yeah. I don't know what to make of that. That seems like 1 second of time.
Yeah, it was a short dream. I
Yeah.
don't think that's the part I remember. I think I've had that dream twice, or at least I've convinced myself that I have.
I used to have reoccurring nightmares about the cat from Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I'm not even joking. God
remember you
damn it!
telling me
This is
about
like
that.
this is a scathing expose into my life. Just
So tell me, how does that make you feel?
not good. Basically, Fran Drescher showed up once. God, it was a nightmare. Basically, in my basement, there are 2 rooms in the basement, and one of the rooms is like in the back, and it's where the laundry and stuff is, and it's not like finished or anything. But that room has a separate. Is this his live reaction?
Yeah, I guess so.
Probably.
Hold on, just keep talking, keep talking.
Anyways, the light switch is placed in the worst possible way because you have to walk all the way through the dark in the basement to that doorway to turn on the lights for that room and the room that you're currently in. So I would have nightmares of me like getting downstairs and standing with the room that you enter, the regular room, with the light on, and this little like black cat sitting in the doorway of the room that's completely dark, just staring at me like, "Hello there." And again, seems I even remember as a child making fun of myself as a coping mechanism, just being like, "I know, Mom, it's fucking it's a cat. I know it's not real. Okay, it's stupid. I know. If I could change this, I would." And Fran Drescher showed up once.
Oh my god!
I can't tell who's laughing because you both have similar laughs to me.
No, that's definitely a Kelsey laugh. My favorite part is where Matt's like, "I don't want to hurt you," and you're like, "Hurt me!" You're like, "Ah!"
can have the sound on this, but holy fuck. That was just...
Go to the Pudgy Buddies. It's a Let's Play channel that I'm part of, and watch everything, and eventually you'll come across it.
So that's what that feels like.
So that's what that feels like.
You're a bad Batman.
You're a bad Batman.
I'm not even gonna try to attempt the noises that follow that.
I also had a
that is the saddest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I'm so glad that's what it was intended to be.
It's so milky. Oh, they don't even break; they just bounce.
Are you both watching it?
No, I've just watched it so many times. I've memorized it.
It's either gonna make or break my career. I'm hoping for the first part.
My stomach hurts now.
I'm glad.
That was great.
You're laughing in a way that sounded like you were...
That is literally the number one reason why I do anything that I do.
So you could just douse yourself in milk.
Yeah, just for the milk. Like, people are like, you want to go to McDonald's? Like, I'll race you there, and if I lose, I have to pour milk on myself. No, just to get reactions like what Kelsey did.
Whenever I watch that video, I always hear that siren in the background, and there's there's like a fire truck in my town that has the same siren, so I always think it's like flying by or whatever.
Oh,
I'm like, no,
really?
it's the video.
Yeah, no. I when I was editing, I was like, yeah, it's gonna make it look like I live in a much worse place than I do.
Oh no, because it's like a fire truck or ambulance siren or something. It's not a cop siren.
I wouldn't know the difference because I live in such a nice area. Well, I probably should know the ambulance since everybody in my neighborhood's an old person.
Yeah, does not look like a very young person neighborhood.
No, it is not. It is an old person neighborhood.
So tell me about your experiences with a skunk ape.
Oh God.
Yeah. Well, okay. Hold on. Okay. What the fuck's going on with the skunk ape? I don't even know what a skunk ape is. I've never even heard of it.
Let's get into this.
Okay, do you know what
this is the Florida version of a Sasquatch.
Yeah, let me grab a picture. Let me grab the scariest picture.
I saw one of the pictures.
I put it in last night.
Oh, right. Isn't that picture fucking spooky?
Fucking terrible.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
Fucking is.
It's just like an ape like shot at night with the flash on, and it makes the eyes all glowy.
Well,
yeah, but it's like in Florida and 3 feet in front of you.
Yeah, the problem with
it's just
me
an
is
ape, though. I mean, that sucks.
And there's
because
like
apes
crazy retinal reflection going on.
Well, yeah, what it is for me is it's his eyes, and then the fact that it looks like he's smiling with people teeth.
Yeah, he's got like a really distorted face because it's like looking up or something.
Right.
Okay, now I really don't want to look at that image because I didn't get much from it when I saw it, but now I'm gonna get a little too much when I do watch or see it again.
Here.
No.
Yeah,
here,
so basically,
you have this. This is a present for you from me. It's just the Wikipedia page.
Okay.
So basically, the most sensible theory is that it's just stupid Floridians buying exotic animals and releasing them because they don't want to keep them anymore.
Which makes sense because I would never
Why are they releasing them?
Well, you know,
because they don't want to take care of them anymore.
No,
that's how you get parasitic creatures in this country.
Floridians.
Oh,
just
Floridians.
No, I don't understand. Why do they have apes? Why do Florida people have apes?
Because people like buying stupid,
exotic
outrageous pets.
You know, like boa constrictors or whatever.
Who the fuck buys crazy shit like that? I thought that was only like Tyson.
Dude, you live in California. How do you not like? I thought California was like this progressive mind, like we know everything about the universe.
Well,
state.
I mean, I've heard of this, but I didn't think it was like an actual factor to where there would be like a big development of fucking skunk apes about it.
Skunk ape population
like it's
is
an actual
down
phenomenon.
Here. Well,
yeah, that photo is terrifying.
It is. I'm so glad that Charlie at least is on my side here and not because like it's a monkey. Whatever, man. I've never been afraid in my life.
I mean, yeah, but
if
an ape just was like in front of me, I'd be a little scared because it's like, holy fuck, where did this ape come from?
Well, it's just a creepy picture.
Picture.
I know, I said that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can't really, correct my cadence.
I just don't get why is this a thing for you guys? Why is this even a thing?
Oh,
because it's just like
it's just a spooky picture to me.
It's not like those other Sasquatch things. They're like, oh, it's like far off in the distance.
Yeah.
Oh, like this is
really
actually frightening. That's what you're getting at.
It's actually like up close and like real looking.
Yeah.
Like if that's a Photoshop, like that's fucking insane.
It's not somebody from the 40s or the 80s, 70s, whenever that was, who may or may not
was for that whenever film.
Yeah, Willow Creek or whatever. It's not somebody who might be in a gorilla costume walking 30 feet away. It's like a very close-up picture.
I know, but it's like I
You
still
don't
just
see
see a
the
monkey.
creepy
like, I mean,
smile. Well, good for you. You
I just
fucking
see an ape.
surpassed the insanity.
Did you hear the backstory on that like 60s Sasquatch film or whatever?
Maybe. Why?
The guy who recorded that film was trying to make a Sasquatch movie anyway, so
Oh, that sucks.
kind of like
that
ruins the
basically
credibility
makes
of
it
that.
not true. 100%.
But still, though, like I mentioned that show, like it's like a documentary on Discovery Channel with like actual like ape
Right,
biologists
yeah.
and stuff, and they were like pointing out that like if that was a costume, like that's an
be a
insanely
really
incredible
good
costume
costume.
for the '60s,
Right.
and like they were pointing out like the gait and stuff. That's like similar
Things
to,
that
like,
people
other
would have to
apes.
be relatively aware of to fabricate.
Yeah, like they talked about like how the hair around the waist is like similar to how like certain female apes have it in Africa or something. So
Oh,
it's like
really?
really interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
I don't get the whole fascination with these things.
Oh, it's not a fascination for either of us, I don't think.
No,
think
I
Matt
know
said
that.
it once,
I know that.
and I was like, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. That's a spooky picture. And then Charlie
Yeah,
brought it
Matt
up.
was talking about a skunk ape coming charging down your hill and crashing through
Oh,
a bay window.
yeah. I should take a picture of my house. Basically, my house in my living room here, there are basically the entire wall is windows that point to the outside. And then in my backyard is just this long, probably 100-foot incline.
Okay.
It goes up into darkness because there's a light post out there. So there's like an era of darkness in the backyard. And I think we might have talked about this on Pudgy Buddies at one point, but I doubt anybody who watches this refined show would ever watch Pudgy Buddies. We actually got as close like as we've ever been to just losing our minds one time. We were watching a movie. It was Matt and I are both pretty big horror buffs. Only just
Yeah.
to find a good horror movie.
There are none ever, other than The
There are
Shining.
some. There are some
Woman
good
in
ones.
Black is
Yeah,
pretty
The
good.
Shining.
Yeah,
By
The
Stanley
Woman in Black
Kubrick.
is a good one. Yeah, shut the fuck up, dude. I'm gonna hurt you. You did it. You broke me. I hate you. I'm done.
Good. My job is fulfilled.
But yeah, we were watching this movie. It was Grave Encounters 2, I think. It's about like these. It's one of those
Such a
POV
pun.
first person shot like found footage films about these people who go into a closed down insane asylum, and weird stuff happens because that's what the movies do.
Right.
But there's one scene where this sort of creature, whatever, in a typical like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest style gown or whatever,
Oh yeah.
is like chasing them, and then fucking through the bay window, some punk ass bitch tard kids run across like right in front of the window with
Oh my
white
God.
hoodies on. One of them. And Matt fucking lost his mind. And for the first time in my life I can say this, Matt overreacted, and I went, meh.
I want to know what Matt overreacting is like, because he never reacts to anything.
I know, he's the most fucking... I was going to say...
He's just like, wow, look at that. That was something.
yeah, that was scary. And I'm like...
Like that giant ant. in
yeah,
New
God,
Vegas.
that scared the shit out of me.
Jesus!
But yeah, well, because my backyard's fenced in, which means normally there aren't just people running around in it. It was the 4th of July, I think, so they'd probably lost fireworks or something in there. Or they were going into my yard to fuck with my yard and put fireworks in it and shoot them off.
That is so fucking funny though. That just like coincided
yeah,
perfectly.
It was perfectly coincided with the movie we were watching, which is probably the reason why he freaked out, is because now all of his fears became real.
Yeah. That's called
He
the
gets very
4D
paranoid in your
experience.
house.
The 4D experience of having just a fucking monster crawl out of your chimney going, and you're just losing your fucking mind.
That's what they're doing in Korea. They made a 4D
really?
version of Avatar. No, not really. They just
Oh.
4D apparently for like movie like people that are trying to make
that's
4D.
bullshit.
All 4D is smell.
4D.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
thought you were saying the number 40.
No, not 40.
That's his accent.
Yeah, 40. Fatty.
40.
40.
Cabbage.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you think we can make some alright sauerkraut out of this? No, it's cabbage. Just throw it away.
That's what I say whenever I take out the garbage at work. I'm like, cabbage.
Cabbage is cabbage.
Cabbage is cabbage.
Oh man, now I gotta say that when I'm making salads. I put the cabbage on there.
This is cabbage.
That's like the frickin' the Jamaican guy saying beer can or bacon.
Oh yeah,
Bacon.
No,
Or Yasser Arafat saying hairpiece or herpes. Hairpiece.
Man.
Hairpiece.
Accents are great.
Yeah.
Bacon.
That's the, what is that? Oh yeah, if you say square with a southern accent, you can't distinguish it from saying squire.
Squaw.
Squire.
Square.
Squire.
Squire.
Have you guys
We
been
were on a
watching?
phone call with some company from Tennessee the other day, and every single one of those guys just had like this. Now we're gonna have to check with you guys, see if we can get this done or whatever. It's
You
like they
know
all have
what's
this like
interesting
crazy
is that
Tennessee accent going on.
linguistics think that that's what Shakespeare sounds like, is a southern accent.
Yeah, the southern accent's supposed to be what the Brits used to sound like.
Yeah,
or
isn't
Oh
whatever.
that
my
crazy?
gosh,
Yeah.
it's amazing. I always just
there you
picture our founding fathers with like British accents and how like all conservatives probably want to think of them as like, you know, like true American like boys, you know, like God damn it, you know, those British when really
Oh yeah,
they were
can you say
Yeah,
God damn
as-
it Bobby for me so I have like proof like that I can just listen to over and over again?
yeah, I just have to have it in a good context, otherwise it's not funny. There has to be
Okay,
like
Damn it, Bubber.
It's fucking scary when he does it.
that makes me happy.
Have you seen that one guy on YouTube who like does the really good Hank Hill? He's kind of like this weird like.
Is it
chubby-looking
Kelshmo's
kid or
channel?
something.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, is it this guy named Kelsey from California? Oh god, that guy's so handsome.
No, there's a lot of good freaking impersonators on YouTube that do like
yeah.
all the different voices. Like I can impersonate some, but there's just like others that are just beyond my level. Like, sorry,
Yeah.
I can't ever even dream.
That's never gonna happen.
All my dreams of
Sent the link to the
impersonating.
guy who I'm talking about.
You're what?
I sent the link to the guy who I'm talking about.
We're gonna have
Yeah,
to put
I've
all
seen
these
this
links
guy.
down on the YouTube page or something.
It's
People
insane
on-
because
people
that
on the
looks
VOD.
exactly like me when I was in middle school. I'm not even joking.
I thought you were gonna say Matt. You're gonna
No,
crush my hopes
no,
and dreams
no,
of what
that's-
Matt looked like.
No, that's basically what I looked like in.
Oh, it's 17 seconds good. Oh wow. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Oh Jesus.
it's like you're watching. It's like you're watching the Hindenburg go down. You're like, oh god,
Oh,
oh Jesus.
have you ever seen there was this one like BuzzFeed article that had all these black and white pictures that someone like redid to like
Wow.
have them be colored.
Oh really?
That guy.
It's just so eerie seeing like black and white pictures in color. It just
Oh,
makes it
yeah.
seem so much more real. Like they did one for the Hindenburg and it's absolutely insane. Like how
Are you talking about the
real it
colored
looks.
ones? Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Are you talking about those colored ones?
I was watching the video. I was completely off my element. Yeah, no, some of those freaking colorists that color oh, it's amazing. I'm just agreeing with what you just said, but still.
yeah, it just makes it look so real
Yeah.
instead of just like, oh, look at those people are going like 20 miles an hour.
Look at
It's
those
like,
people in the 30s being shit.
Yeah.
It's like 10 FPS footage run at 30 FPS or whatever.
Right.
The blimp's kind of one of those things where everybody thought it was the greatest thing in the world, and then somebody came along and was like, "No,
Yeah,
Fuck
here
that.
it is right here. This is what I'm talking about.
it's so great
the
that
one
the
on the right
viewers can
is
see
just, like,
all this."
so-
No, we're gonna link it all. We're gonna link it
Oh
all.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, yeah, I just sent that picture to like that one on the right
Oh,
is just
Jesus.
like so freaking like
Oh.
it just makes it look so much more
So,
like graphic
in
and
other
disturbing.
words,
I've
pandas are really stupid.
Jesus.
It's
amazing.
insane. Yeah.
Bamboo doesn't provide them enough. I'm trying to get this program back on track here.
All right. Where were we?
So we're past Dream.
Gordon Freeman.
Okay, yeah, we wanna get into the
past-
Half-Life. Okay, this is
No,
the
hold
video
on, I thought
game
there was-
bit now.
I thought there was something else to be said.
For what?
I
Yeah,
don't
what were
remember.
we on.
We're not missing anything.
We-
We're good.
Oh yeah. You were gonna say your Hank Hill voice, and I was gonna have documented proof.
Well,
Do it.
it's got to be in the right context, man. I gotta have
You
to
put it on
say,
the spot,
God
man. It's too
damn
much
it."
pressure, dude.
You know what I
Oh.
mean?
Too much pressure.
I have to be frustrated or something. It has to
All right.
come from the true emotion.
Andy, be yourself. Piss him
I'm
off.
like, I'm like Daniel Day-Lewis.
Okay, hold on. You give method act the one line.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna just Google most frustrating facts, and then I'm just gonna
have you
read
heard
them
the
to
most
you until
annoying
you're
sound
upset
in the
enough.
world?
Okay, this isn't. This isn't.
Do you know that bit from Dumb and Dumber when Jim Carrey's like, "You want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?"
Yeah. Well, you might be able to learn something from this at least.
Have either of you guys seen Interstellar?
No.
Yeah. Yes.
Have either of you? Okay, you have, Charlie. Good. You're a good man. You're a good human.
Yes.
Have either of you seen the Dumb and Dumber 2 thing?
No.
Good. Okay. I was hoping that that was gonna be like that. Otherwise, if you had both seen Dumb and Dumber 2 and not seen Interstellar, I was gonna be like, oh, the amount of judge.
Yeah, I
The
like
amount of
Interstellar.
judge.
I was gonna judge you guys.
I don't think any movie has really ever tackled time dilation like Interstellar
Right? Yeah,
did.
the theory of the relativity.
Relativity.
It's
Oh,
amazing.
it sounds so good.
Oh, it's just a theory.
It's just a theory, except it's real.
Yeah.
Andy,
We use it to correct for our GPS satellite. So hi.
Andy-
Gravity is just a theory as well.
You
And it's
gotta
a
see
law,
it.
which means it's been elevated to a state of being true until it's disproven, but it's still a theory.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
everything's a theory,
But-
man.
Yeah,
We don't even
exactly.
exist. We're just theories.
Oh, I know that I exist.
But do you?
Well, I know. The interesting conundrum there is there's no possible way for you to prove to me that you exist, and for me to prove to you that I exist, but I can prove to myself that I exist.
Yeah, you're infallible in your own opinion or whatever.
In your own mind, yeah.
Oh, well, that's just in your own mind, though.
Bringing
Who cares
the shit
about
back
that?
to Descartes.
Who cares about your own mind? We're talking about, everything. We're talking about existence here.
Well, my own mind is existence.
To you.
No.
I don't know enough about philosophy to talk about existence other than saying, "How do you really know that?" all the time.
Basically.
Why?
That's what I'm doing, essentially, here.
Yeah, I there's like a trend of like when I watch like astrophysics videos and stuff like that, like with modern physics, there's always a bunch of like butthurt philosophers who are like,
Yep.
why aren't philosophers involved in modern science anymore? It's like, well, because modern science does not take place on the tabletop; it takes place in the realm
Yeah,
of quantum.
yeah.
and you
Yeah.
can't
There,
just
yeah,
think
there
about
was a
that.
YouTube video with Neil deGrasse Tyson and someone else, and one of the questions from the audience was like, are you sad to see this like decrease in philosophy, like professors and colleges and stuff? And he's like, well, it's just not. We're past that. Like, we don't need philosophy
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah, like there weren't even physicists back in the day. There wasn't a word for it.
Right.
They were considered philosophers.
Exactly.
I think there are a lot of useful facets of philosophy still.
Oh, it's still useful,
Yeah.
but it's just not like in the realm.
Oh,
of,
it
like,
definitely
modern
shouldn't be
science
applicable
anymore.
to science.
Right.
But
Still
I
awesome
still
to see
think-
videos on like Nietzsche and
Right.
and the other Socrates guy and all those people and like
All those shows who are dead now.
yep, all those guys that were like, hey, here's some ideas, and then they got like slapped and told to go along with
Shit
their
on.
way. Yep.
Can I just say that death absolutely scares me?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Just because it's like it's the absence of everything. Like you won't even be aware that you're like dead or
I'm,
whatever.
I'm
Yeah.
more afraid of the act of dying than being dead.
Oh no, I'm way
Like-
way more
Oh.
afraid of being dead than the act of dying. I don't care about the pain. I care about
No,
me
I
not-
mean the concept of me dying, knowing, oh my God, these are the
Oh.
last 10 seconds I'm gonna have.
Oh, yeah,
what do
that
I
is
say?
actually
What do I
horrible.
do?
Yeah, that's scary too. But like just the fact that you could like go to bed one day and just like never
Yeah.
wake up. Or,
yeah, like I
and
wouldn't
be-
have a
you'd-
problem with like the
wouldn't
fear of death.
be aware of the fact that you wouldn't
Yeah.
wake up. That just like creeps me out.
That's
yeah, I
creepy,
just have a problem because I think about death only right when I go to sleep. Like it has to be then. It can't be like when I wake up when I'm happy and
I
I've
think
got the whole
about
day ahead
death
of
like
me.
24/7.
I mean, not I. Yeah, I generally
I've
think
already
about
thought
it.
about death like 8 times today.
It's usually a once a week thing, and it's always when I'm like drifting off to sleep. It's like, hey, you could die and not wake up, and I'm just like, fuck
Yeah,
you.
and then
to
brings me to,
yourself.
Yeah, because it's a dick move,
Yeah,
Like,
okay. So your brain is just fucking whispering death threats to you.
basically.
I'm writing comedy gold in the mirror, and I'm the one who gets fucking labeled as crazy.
we're all crazy though.
You and
Yeah.
your acceptance of everything.
it's that's the only way to live. It's the
It's just
only
accept
way.
everything.
Yes, you have to accept
Nothing.
everything.
Everything is relative.
yeah, is being busy the only way to stay sane? If you just like sit around and do nothing all day, or you're just gonna be destined
No
to become
way.
insane
I mean,
or
I
something.
think that's
Absolutely.
I think that's a way to keep sane, but it's not a good way to live.
No, I definitely think you'll go insane.
Yeah, because I don't think about death if I'm out and about and doing
Right.
stuff. I
Well,
just do
yeah,
it.
Well, that's
Sit
what I
here
mean.
really
That's
bored.
what I mean. Like when you're about to fall asleep and like nothing's going on. I mean, I don't have a light on. I don't like have the TV on. Some people do. I can't do that. I can't go to sleep that way.
No, I need absolute pitch
Yeah.
pure
Well,
black
yeah,
to
it
sleep.
interrupts your sleep cycle too.
Yeah, that too. It also makes me annoyed because like people have their radios on or something, and it's like, dude, that's gonna affect your dreams, man.
You know you're not gonna sleep, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you'll
Basically.
be asleep, but you're not going to sleep.
Yeah, you're not gonna actually sleep, like real sleep. You're just gonna be like, breathing with your eyes closed.
Yeah. Because every time you fucking blink, you're sleeping.
Yeah. Isn't that how it works?
No. There's a lot of chemical
I
changes that
watched
happen when you go to
Inception. I
sleep.
know how it works.
Kick. That's a word.
I watched a hour-and-a-half long video on a debate about what nothing is.
That doesn't
Nothing is
even-
the absence of
something.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there are different kinds of nothings. Like in the universe, like there's a nothing where it's
Yeah.
like you don't have any mass or anything near you, but you still
Was
have
that
space
that
and
Krauss
time.
lecture? That,
Whoa, isn't that
No,
what,
it was at the.
is that dark energy and
like
dark
the-
matter?
yeah, dark matter.
It was at the Hayden Planetarium. It was
Oh.
with like Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I don't think I
and
saw
some
that
other
one.
physicists.
Yeah, that's like
But
90% of the universe we can't account
Lawrence
for.
Krauss was in that though. He was in that.
I don't think that was the one I saw though.
Yeah, but basically, like, there's a nothing that people I think would usually think of as being like a vacuum, like that. They would usually think of that as a nothing. But then, what if you have a nothing that's like the absence of both space and time, like outside the universe or whatever? Like, there's that kind of.
Well,
nothing
if
too.
if that does exist, and then you have to kind of wrap your mind around the fact that
Well, the fact that
there's
it doesn't exist.
that there's space beyond the
that's just-
universe, right? That there's more to it than that, and then you have to say what's outside.
Well,
of that.
it wouldn't be space around the universe. It would be
Yeah,
nothing.
there wouldn't be anything
Yeah.
around the universe, which would mean, therefore, that the universe occupies everything.
Yeah, which is very weird to think
It's
about.
sort of
Yeah.
semantics.
That's why you can't like really like make a
well,
picture. of
the
what
the
universe
word
looks
nothing can never do justice to the concept of nothing.
Right.
Like. Yeah,
which
that
is-
they were saying the problem is like words make it hard for us to
words create
describe stuff.
limitations
Yeah.
on experiences and ideas.
I love where this is going so much. Not being
Yeah, it's like,
sarcastic,
I
I
mean,
do.
Let's go
I mean,
back
you
to
get to a
being
point-
dead.
You get to a point where you think in terms of your language. What happens to a person who doesn't learn a language? How do they think? Can they think?
That's a good point. Yeah.
Can they think without language?
I don't.
Can they
Well,
learn anything
the
without
point of
language?
idea is to communicate ideas and things like that. So if they didn't have any form of language, how would they be able to learn things? I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, would they be
I think-
feral,
Right,
basically?
right.
Well, yeah, they would be.
Yeah, I would say they would.
They've
be.
actually had a case of this.
Yeah, like they would be at a point where they wouldn't be able to
there
learn
was a
anything because
girl
only the young mind can
who,
learn some of that stuff.
Right, that's what happened. There was a girl who was. I wish I'd known more actual facts about it, but all I know is the gist of what happened. There was a girl in not America, I think. I want to say it was Russia, but that's
Not
probably
America, as in it was
And
a
it was
really
probably
shitty
in
cold
America.
place.
wrong. But she was basically super duper neglected to the point where she didn't have any human contact whatsoever, except for herself. And when they found her, she was young-ish, but like 20s, if not a few years less or a few years more. And she can't even learn any words. She's learning very, 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 very simple concepts, but nothing that would ever enable her to have a conversation of any kind.
Yeah.
And how old is she when she was like found or whatever?
I'm gonna Google it so I actually have some.
It's like
Reading.
it has to be above like 12. That's like the cutoff age for like being able to just like pick up a language. Like, because like kids can just like pick it up just by being around it. They don't have to actively learn it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like,
but I mean, you
There's
can
like a point in time where
you
your
can be
brain
older
is just
than
like a
that, though.
sponge like that.
You can be older than that and still learn a language.
Yeah, it's
no
right.
problem.
It was in the Ukraine.
No, but you can only pick up another language
It was
when
in
you're older because
Ukraine.
you've learned a language before.
Okay, so if you
Like,
have
if
no
you have learned
foundation,
no language, you just have no.
Right.
Your brain has no like idea of what that is what I'm thinking.
What's that now?
Like what that even would mean.
That's
Right.
not necessarily true because dogs, they don't have they think in the sense that, you know what I mean? They don't have, lofty thoughts, but they think.
Oh yeah, I mean you can think in terms of like
decisions.
I mean,
Right.
just because of the fact that you're in a 3D world, you could think about a 3D world probably.
Probably.
And like going behind that tree or like over that boulder or something like that.
Okay, so her name was Oksana, very large Russian middle name, Malaya.
Give it to me. Give it to me. I'll pronounce it for you.
She's from the Ukraine, which is
Charlie would be
and
able to pronounce it if it's Russian.
she was born 1983, which doesn't say when they found her. Fucking assholes. I don't know.
Was she just like stranded in the red forest of Chernobyl?
The
or
fucking
something?
Wikipedia page is like a paragraph long.
That's how it works
Oh, really?
sometimes, man.
I feel like that page should be huge. Talking.
She was
about
found at
something
the
like
age
that.
of 8.
But Wikipedia-ers have to be objective. They can't be like, so we
Right.
think this is happening.
Yeah, it's true. At the age of 8, though, I feel like the brain is still like
Oh, she was raised by dogs.
Well, does she bark?
interesting.
Yeah, Oksana could hardly speak and ran around on all fours barking,
Wow.
which would
I
lead me
'cause
to
I
believe that humans aren't so cool after all. They're just shitty people who got a little less shitty and then taught everybody else how to be a little less shitty.
Basically.
Yeah, I mean, like we're one of the only species just to fight that without
For absolutely no
like,
reason.
without a survival implication for it or whatever.
Well, there is sort of there's a very long, sort of complex psychological reason to fight for us.
I mean, chimpanzees have it too. They do the same thing.
Well, I mean, wars most often are propagated over religion, which
Oh, I'm talking about like on a personal basis, like just fighting to like show your dominance or whatever like that.
Yeah.
Not for like
People don't really have to do
survival
that
or something.
anymore. It's all like through business
Oh.
cards and subtext and
passive aggressive
yeah,
comments.
yeah, basically.
Women. But
Yeah, I'm talking about like not having a large enough frontal cortex or whatever,
Well,
which would
what were you
enable
saying?
more
Because
sympathy or
what
whatever
you were
that is.
saying sounded like the opposite of what was true, which is the douchiest thing I'll ever say. Well, you said
I'm saying like
Humans-
humans and chimpanzees fight not because they're like forced to, otherwise they'll die. They fight to like show dominance in like a cultural sense or whatever.
I think all animals do that to some extent, protect their territory. We've just got a more advanced type of territory.
I saw it. It's like it's differentiated from what other animals do.
Okay. So you're saying they're just like, did you see the way Hank looked at me on a fucking bench?
Like it's like a prison yard, like just picking on someone to show you're tough or whatever.
Oh,
like,
I
that's
see
basically
what you're
I'm saying.
saying.
That kind of fighting
Okay.
with no survival implications whatsoever.
Aren't there survival implications in those though? Well, I mean, to some extent.
For the person getting attacked, yeah, but not for the person doing
Well,
the
the
attack.
person doing it is trying to prevent further confrontations, I would hope.
Yeah, further aggression.
By representing their dominance over this one, making an example that all the other people will see.
We're basically saying everyone in prison is an animal.
They are animals. They're fucking monsters. Well,
Subhumans.
Yeah, basically, they're scum.
Are we going somewhere or should we switch tracks?
No,
We should switch.
he was talking about. We're talking about animals and thinking, and prison yards. I think you would still think you just have your own type of language. You obviously wouldn't.
Yeah, you just translate it differently. It's not in a language that can be said like that.
I don't know if you're like capable of advanced thought. Without
Definitely
language,
not. I don't
though.
think you'd ever.
No,
be
I don't think so
capable
either.
of
Like I'm saying, you could definitely think in terms of like spatial thinking, like what's over that way, or, like what it would look like if I got over there or something.
And this obviously can
visual
never be
thinking.
done because of ethical reasons. But if you were to take two relatively intelligent people, I know IQs are barely passable as intelligence quotas, but if you were to take two people with average to above average IQs,
Hey man, IQs aren't even necessarily a good test.
I just said that.
He just
Oh,
said,
I thought you said that the average person isn't intelligent.
no, he said it's barely an intelligence
Oh,
quota.
okay.
God, you're such a fucking contrarian. Get off my back, man.
Look, man, I'm trying to
if you were to
translate.
If you took two people with average to slightly above average intelligence and they made offspring, and that offspring would probably have a better chance of developing its own sort of feral language in its head than an earlier human that had no. Just because there is some aspect of psychology that is genetic.
Right. So
So
that's
I
some
think-
ancestral memory, man. We're playing Assassin's Creed. Just getting animus.
God. You are off today. You are just on the wrong track.
Dude, I love everything I say. And I don't listen
I'm sure
to any
you
of it.
do.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
You jerk.
Half-Life is the greatest video game ever.
It's not, though. That's your
I agree.
problem.
No, it's weird because it is.
It's just like, it's not.
Well,
not
actually,
even
for me,
close.
it's the greatest video game series ever. Stalker Shadow Chernobyl is my favorite game ever.
And then, okay, but see, have you played, let's see here, some really good games that you haven't played. Have you played
Fuck this guy up.
Shadow of the Colossus?
I have, yes.
No.
Okay, not Charlie, though, because Charlie's a kill kind of guy. He murders people in games.
You murder. Literally, the goal in Shadow of the Colossus is murder.
No,
There's literally nothing else to do.
It's
a
more...
barren wasteland with a horse, a tree, and 16 fucking things to murder.
You're right, completely. But in the context of the game, it's a lot more philosophical and, you know, it's
You
less...
murder things to revive your dead girlfriend.
Yeah, that's the idea. Okay,
As
have you...
opposed to Charlie, where you murder things to protect a country of people from dying to tyranny.
Well, which is more, you know, admirable, right?
The one where you protect a bunch of people from
No.
dying admirably.
No, that's... that could be argued, but...
I don't think it could.
Okay, have you played BioShock? You haven't played BioShock, right, Charlie?
No, that's going to be a blind
Yeah,
opening
yeah,
on my
yeah.
channel.
I'm
at some
so
point.
excited for that. But... Yeah, dude, those are some games that you need to go play, and then I'm sure you'll still love Half-Life way more than them, but
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's just like the nostalgia factor.
Yeah.
Was I talking to one of you about this, about nostalgia, how like,
It might have been
maybe
me.
I was just thinking about this. Whatever you like develop nostalgia for as like a child is like what you're only ever going to think as being like
Yeah.
the best of something.
well,
Definitely.
I don't know if that's true. Maybe for video games, but like for music, I wouldn't agree with that because what I love now is so far from freaking Hootie and the Blowfish and like the shit that I used to listen to.
I mean, I'd say it would depend on like something like music. I feel like is very like generational, and it's like much more acceptable to say something is old and like not desirable to be listened to or whatever.
I personally think, well, as far as BioShock goes, I mean, BioShock...
Let's not spoil
Shadow-
anything here, Andy.
No. BioShock is a great game because the writing for it is impeccable.
The actual story, the world building of the atmosphere and everything.
Right. But the gameplay isn't bad. It's just not like... It's not...
I don't think
not a
it's as-
game
I
that
don't think it's
carries
as good as
itself on
Half-Life.
its gameplay.
I think the gameplay is better than a lot of people say it is. A lot of people say the gameplay sucks. I think it's
sure,
great.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying
but
it's not
Half-Life does it
something that
better
carries
for
itself
sure.
on its gameplay.
No. But it shouldn't either. I mean, video games shouldn't just be about gameplay. You know what I mean?
I
Some
disagree.
games definitely should be, but I mean, games like BioShock and Half-Life and Stalker, which are all relatively similar games when you look at it, they definitely...
Yeah, they're all like a pretty similar
Isn't Stalker
style.
Yeah.
made on the Source engine?
No,
No, it's on X-Ray.
Oh,
yeah,
is
it's
it?
on a
Oh.
completely
I've never
handmade,
played it before.
awful, derpy engine.
Yeah,
But and then Shadow of the Colossus, I don't want to call it a commodity because that diminishes it, but its value lies in its uniqueness and exclusiveness. The fact that there aren't any other games or very little games like it.
Well, I would say it still holds its own, though. I mean, if you're actually playing it. Yeah.
But I'm saying to rate it against other games doesn't seem fair because it's either going
No.
to stand above them or stand below them in a crass margin because of its
No,
refined
I don't ever
sort of
think more,
aspect.
or, you know, like, I don't think Shadow of the Colossus is a better game than Half-Life. I think that I enjoyed Shadow of the Colossus a hell of a lot more than I ever have, you know, any Half-Life. But at the same time, though, I've never beaten any of the Half-Lives. I got all the way through Black Mesa, though.
what?
Yep. I've tried to play Half-Life 2 quite a few times, and, like, I love the actual gameplay, but, like, the actual story. I remember Half-Life 2, I got to the part where you're going down an elevator when you've, like, finally found, like, the people that you're going to be teaming up with or something. There's, like, a chick with you, and you're going down an elevator. Not, like, the very first chick. Not
I was
that
gonna say,
early
that's
in the
like
game.
the first thing that
No.
happens.
No, like, pretty, not far into.
Oh, in Eli's lab.
I think so, yeah. I think so.
After you go
It's the
through
only
the
other
city
chick that's
full
in a
of,
story that you go down the ladder with.
yeah, like there's some parts that I just
Mossman, Dr.
didn't
Mossman.
enjoy.
That's some fucked up shit, man. Ravenholm's gone to shit, man.
Yeah, I definitely got all the way through Ravenholm. That was just a crazy.
That's like one of
mess.
the greatest levels in video game history, I think.
I think it was the gravity gun itself is an amazing there's no other
Yeah.
game that's ever done something like that so
I personally liked Half-Life 1 way, way, way more than Half-Life 2.
Yeah, I can't say the same.
I'm gonna say a politician answer and say they're different.
That's the reason that I didn't like Half-Life 2 as much, is because I was expecting Half-Life 1 just better, and what I got was Half-Life 2.
Yeah, they're very different.
Yeah.
Well, Half-Life 2 is a lot more open, generally speaking, right? Compared
Yeah,
to one.
Technically, but it's
it
still
feels
the same.
more open.
It
Right.
just looks like it, but it's still basically a series of tunnels. in
Yeah,
terms of
yeah,
games.
no,
It's just
I would
more
say
like-
It's just tunnels.
It is though. It
Imagine
is
if they put that
basically
on the game
corridors.
box like Half-Life 2. Just tunnels.
More tunnels
not even
and
that. Half-Life 2.
1 minute loading
tunnels.
times.
Yeah, 1 minute loading times.
Oh, not anymore. I get 7 seconds with my solid state now.
Yeah, I used to. Yeah, it was awful.
But
But now Half-Life loads in like half a second on the computer.
there's just so much that Half-Life 1 brought to the table.
Right.
Oh yeah, it's
That-
insane.
I just
like,
never.
the graphics.
You
for
guys
it
were
back
the
then were
age
insane.
for it, and I
That
wasn't.
could be
That's really
why.
what it comes down to. You guys are just.
I mean, I didn't.
Charlie
play
and
till
I
was
are
in,
like, when
sixth
Kennedy
grade.
was president, this shit wouldn't have flown.
Oh, when Kennedy was president, I do declare that there will be a
When
day with
Kennedy was
Half-Life.
president, there was some good stuff going on in games.
Damn fine president.
That's probably why. Is because Charlie and I remember the world of Doom where you just fucking looked at a screen and it felt like you were moving.
Yeah, my Doom was Castle Wolfenstein.
Oh, okay.
Well, there
and
was
then we played
Wolfenstein and
Half-Life
then
where you
Doom.
actually were moving,
Right.
and you're like, oh my god,
yeah.
I control the world around me.
And that was
Yeah,
one of
I
the
mean,
first games to do everything in first person totally uninterrupted, except for those 1 minute
Yeah.
loading times.
No
Except for
cutscenes.
times.
No cutscenes.
Yeah,
live
that
action.
that is sort of a detractor. I go back and play Half-Life every so often. I'm like, fuck, this game loads a lot.
Yeah,
For no reason.
Well, it needed it back
Yeah.
then, but it doesn't need it anymore. But
you walk into like nothingness. You're walking down a tunnel, and halfway through the tunnel, it's just like, you're like, what?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, wow,
And then,
the rest
you know,
of this
like,
tunnel must be super intense. And
if
then
you
it's just more
even
of the
take
same
a few
tunnel.
steps backwards, then it's like, oh, you're loading back again. You're just going the other way.
yeah,
That's the worst.
Yep.
But again, like I definitely,
But yeah, they're just-
Black Mesa
yeah.
was my Half-Life experience.
Well, that means you never even fought the Nihilith.
Nope. I never
God,
fought
they
anything.
never played the real one.
I've seen so much. It's basically like 2001: A Space Odyssey. I've seen so much of it before I ever played it that it's like, yeah, I know the story. Before
God,
I've
that
even
Yeah, I
fucking
mean,
baby.
yeah, I guess you'd have to. It's like older games. You kind of have to play when there's nothing else better to play.
Or you have to play them without all of the other things around you telling you stuff about them.
right.
Yeah, but what I mean by nothing else better to play is like if you already have Half-Life 2 and stuff like that, it's hard to go back and play earlier games.
yeah, sure. It's
If what you started on is Half-Life 2.
Yeah, that's like why I want to raise my children in like a stepping stones
in a
environment.
vacuum.
Basically in a vacuum. Yeah. Yep. They're gonna be.
because I mean I
You
played
will
Half-Life in like,
experience
middle
only
school.
what I deem fit for your young minds.
We're going to watch Citizen Kane today, and then we're going to take a look at next week the 1930s French new wave of filmmaking, and then we'll take a look at the Kubrick.
And your kids are gonna grow up to be total douchebag punks.
Yeah.
They're gonna be those kids that go by the bay windows at night with white hoodies.
They're gonna be they're gonna be the kids who fucking like go to a school specifically designed for art, and
Yep.
everybody's always dancing and singing.
Oh, I was
are no
thinking they're gonna be like,
desks.
oh, my fucking father made me watch those damn movies.
Yeah,
I'm
or
just gonna
it's
wring
going to
his
have
neck."
the tension effect and just make them not want anything to do with it.
Yep, that's pretty much what happened to
That's
me.
what he fucking wants. He's like, nobody experiences Kubrick but me. The only way Kubrick is a good director is if nobody experiences it.
Well, that is kind of how my life's going
You're a
right
fucking
now. So.
tyrant. Just telling your kids like, oh, what's that? You want to watch some Quentin Tarantino? Fuck you! It's Kubrick.
Oh my god.
You are gonna make a great dad.
You're damn right. You're damn right. Blu-ray players and
You're gonna be an interesting dad, Andy. Jesus.
Probably.
You're gonna do that fucking weird voice noise to them when they get in trouble or whatever. It scares shit out of them.
Which weird voice?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Like the it's like when you're like, oh, but that's what that feels like.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that voice that I'm sure is loud as hell.
Oh,
We'll just max out all our speakers
Yeah,
right
well,
now.
I'm sure you guys can fix it in post. You're smart. You're obviously
What's that mean?
fathoms smarter than I am with your fucking Cuban Missile Crisis or whatever.
All right, okay.
Well, yeah, Half-Life.
So Half-Life and Half-Life 2 are very different games.
Right, right, and you know,
Half-Life is much more of like a survival
horror.
horror
Half-Life
shooter.
1 or Half-Life 2?
Half-Life 1.
I wouldn't say it's survival
I would
horror.
say it's like a horror survival shooter.
I guess it is kind of with those fucking head crabs.
Yeah, I guess it's weird because it sort of shifts towards the end. It feels more like a really amped up version of Duke Nukem when you're in Zen and you're like blowing shit up.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I fucking hate Zen. Can I just say how much
Don't
I
we
hate
all?
Well then, okay, hold on. You guys hate Zen, so why do you gotta harp on me for loving Black Mesa? I basically experienced.
Because
It's
that's
the
just because they
reason.
haven't done Zen yet. You can't say it's better because they don't have Zen. They're gonna do Zen.
No, well,
Because it epitomizes the reason that you're playing the game is because you finally are like, all right, so I've
The fact that you hate Zen makes it seem so more
the fact
realistic
that you
because it's
hate
like
Zen is like the badge of honor you wear for getting through that fucking nest.
it's because it's like in real life, like you would not enjoy that experience of going through what Gordon Freeman
Yeah.
did, whereas
well,
you
that's
would
just
in a
bad
video
game
And
design.
No,
Zen
no, it's great
epitomizes
No,
game
that.
design.
you're literally justifying bad game design, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I don't agree with
You
it.
can say whatever you want to say, man.
whatever helps you sleep at night, Kelsey.
Look, I loved Black Mesa, and I loved watching Al Chestbreach play it, and that's enough for
Good.
me to live on.
Good, great. You never even fought the giant fucking baby.
No, I
Yeah,
didn't.
you gotta fight the baby,
You
man,
gotta
with
fight
the
the
vacuum.
baby.
You gotta vacuum clean the baby's brain.
I just remember
dude.
that
Come on, man.
gigantic boss with the railway cars and having to do all that bullshit. That was a scary monster. It was
When?
very difficult. Like
In
The
Half-Life?
boss with the
in-
railway cars.
the little like parts where you're on like the like the train car things, and you're like in the lab, and there's that gigantic boss monster that you have to kill, and there's like the guy that's like half dead. And I think that's when you get the
giant-
revolver.
Oh, there's no trams with that. That's just a rocket launcher or whatever.
Right. I don't even know.
Aren't you trying to test fire a missile or whatever?
You have to. You're talking about.
Oh,
the
no,
big
you're talking
guy.
about,
Yeah, I'm talking about
Shocked
Inside.
No,
to
he's
death.
talking about the chapter right after that. Like right as soon as you beat that worm thing, you go to that gargantua.
You have
Yeah,
to
on
like
the
trap him
rails.
and then zap him with the like
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, the guy that spits fire out of his
I hate
hands or
that guy.
whatever.
Awful.
Don't you love it? Like you just like, oh, I beat the worm thing, and then just toss you
And
right
then
into
they're
another
just like,
boss
good,
scenario.
now do this. Dude, that game is so hard for me to play because of my fear of water. I can.
Oh my god, your fear of water in like that Banjo-Kazooie episode
Oh,
with the fucking
I can't-
sharks was
I
the most
can't
hilarious
fucking
thing
deal
I've ever
with
seen.
water.
But like, I
You got
guess
a lot
Ever
of
tell you
the
guys the
phobias,
story?
man.
I guess Eric deleted that channel. I just can't find those videos anymore.
Did you ever? Either of you ever heard the story of why I'm terrified of water?
No.
Probably, but I don't remember it off the
I
top
was
of my head.
in Florida, investigating the skunk ape, and my family and I went kayaking, and since I'm shitty at everything I do, I wasn't very good at it. And we went into this channel, and I ran into the mangrove tree, and apparently there are crabs that look like spiders that just fucking nest in them, and so I run into the tree, and there's like, not a lot, but a lot when you're in a fucking kayak. There's like 10 to 12 that just start fucking pouring out of the tree into my kayak.
Oh my
And
god!
I'm like, oh god, what's happening? And so
Oh, yeah.
I thought that, I'm not gonna lie, I thought they were spiders. I don't know, Florida's a weird
Oh.
place. I thought somebody might have bought some spiders from like Africa and brought them to America and let them loose in their backyard, and they became spider crabs. But they were crabs of some kind, but they looked like spiders. They had 8 legs and the same sort of radial pattern that spiders do. And so they're like pouring into my kayak, like, yeah, I'm a crab, just walking all over the kayak, and I'm losing my mind because I think that they're huge spiders, and there's never been a huge spider that just wants to like take you out for coffee. They don't do that.
No, they just run away because they're fearful of you.
Not the huge ones. They're fucking aggressive.
If you say so.
Yeah, clock spider or something.
So I flip out of my kayak into the water, and there's just spider crabs everywhere.
Do they float or something?
No, they were just.
It was just in the water with you.
Yeah,
swimming
well,
around.
The worst part
giving
is
you
then,
some love nips.
yeah. Then
Because Maryland blue crabs, they sink. They don't.
then
float.
the
They
fear
go
of
to
the unknown
bottom.
kicks in when you're just standing in murky water with a billion spider crabs at your feet.
Oh.
Oh, okay, it wasn't that deep. Okay.
No, it was probably up to my right before my knees.
Oh God. There's nothing to fear.
Spider crabs.
No, wait, that doesn't sound right.
Oh.
Right above my knees. That's what I
Okay,
meant.
okay. Now we're talking
Yeah.
seriously deep.
I just realized right below my knees is like I'm standing in a kiddie pool just screaming.
Yeah.
I'm drowning.
Oh
my god! But yeah,
And
and
then-
then the Mario 64 when that eel comes out of the fucking wall.
Oh god. And then that was just
You just
propagated
scream
with
like a little-
nightmares that evolved into just being in water in general. So now I don't
Oh, it
swim in
makes me
lakes,
laugh so
rivers,
much.
or oceans. Which isn't really
Makes me
bad
laugh
because I
so
don't look
much.
that great with my shirt off anyways.
Swimming is so good for you.
What is?
Swimming.
Oh, well, he'll do clear water. It sounds like just
Right.
not dirty
Yeah,
water.
In pools.
Like if I were to go to one of those places where you have to pay $6,000 to take a fancy cruise ship and be alone on your own island where the water's crystal clear. Then again, there's all sorts of weird shit in that water too, so I just stay away from water in general.
Oh, can I just say I'm never going on a cruise ship after all these crazy stories I've heard about them and
Dude,
shit.
that's understandable, but I fucking love cruise ships.
I've never been on
Oh,
one,
yeah.
but one of my friends went on a cruise, and he was like, going to Hawaii, it's gonna be awesome. And a guy jumped
a cruise
off.
to Hawaii? That sounds long as shit.
Yeah.
Jesus.
No. Sorry, he was going to Mexico. I just lied to you blatantly.
That was a lie, and I don't know why.
But yeah,
I was
some
gonna say
guy,
cruise ships are they're not ocean going.
some guy just committed suicide. Just like he just
Fuck
jumped off and they
me.
couldn't find him.
Fuck
Jesus.
me.
At least they say
Why?
he committed suicide.
Yeah. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun.
There's the royal they again.
Yep.
The what?
They, as in
Royal
the government.
Oh yeah, they just say they couldn't find him, but I think they're just lying to cover their asses, those people.
They put him in the laundry.
And he took himself to the cleaners. Bum 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 bum.
But yeah, I'm basically thinking of that one cruise ship that like lost electrical power and people taking shits off the side of the boat or whatever.
That sounds hilarious.
Yeah,
which I know it's
that
not,
just
but it
sounds
sounds
fun.
hilarious.
It was like that Alabama.
Gives a
cruise
whole
ship
new
or
meaning to
whatever.
the poop deck.
Of course, it's an Alabama one.
How do you fucking... Yeah, they just start in Alabama and they're just through fucking Louisiana and everything else to get to the ocean. They've got jet engine thrusters on the back of it like, I think this is how water works. And they're just blasting through it. I can also I apologize for my crass view of Southerners.
No, I have the same view. Don't worry about it.
It's probably accurate.
Probably. Most stereotypes are, right? That's how it works.
But I was on a cruise ship, went to Alaska, and you just get to eat all day.
That's what
the
I've
greatest
heard.
thing. It was
Gain 10 pounds.
yeah, it was the greatest thing ever because I just realized something really creepy in the Skype call. Charlie's just staring at me with his profile picture's seductive eyes, and then Kelsey's a platypus. So I'm gonna exit out of that window. Anyways, you just eat as much as you want. So I just sat around and ate all day, and they're like, "You want to go like cosmic mini golf?" And I was like, "No, there's pie."
Ooh.
I'm just saying, those eyes are seductive.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
it caught me off guard. It was like the skunk ape. I just all of a sudden was like, "Hello there."
Okay, now I'm a skunk.
No,
ape.
it was like it was the same feeling as the skunk ape.
That's
Now I'm scary.
really
okay.
odd.
You are scary. I don't want to be the first one to tell you, but oops, you're a monster.
Killed your
Yeah,
family.
whoops.
From Florida.
From Florida.
Oh, did you hear about? Okay, so I kind of want to harp back on the Sasquatch.
Go for it.
Oh, Jesus.
Now that you mentioned
I know
skunk
you
ape.
really like.
There was this story. It was like either right before World War One or after World War One. I think it was after World War One with like Soviet soldiers in the Caucasus. They were I think they're on a patrol and they heard like something screaming from a cave or whatever. And so like apparently this like ape-like figure comes charging at them and they like shoot this thing dead. But I guess they did like never
shooting
kept
it
the
live,
body
I
or
guess.
something. Yeah.
Shoot it dead.
They never found the body, but they had
It's
the
like
footsteps.
making a zombie porno. It's like, we're gonna shoot it dead.
Yeah. Double tap.
Double tap. Ah, you're a smart guy. You're a smart kid.
Hey.
Hey, oh. Really? Did they have photos or anything? Or are they like, and then we threw it in the incinerator because that's how we get credit to our story?
No, but it's like apparently a very well-known story or something.
Interesting.
General Mikhail Stepanovich Topilsky.
Oh, good. That just sounds silly.
Yeah.
Which is really,
Give
really
me that
racist.
Russian accent.
Yeah, it harps back to like this theory that these Sasquatches in like the Northwest, Pacific Northwest or whatever.
Like Oregon, Washington.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like in Vancouver, British Columbia.
Okay.
Like back in the day apparently like
Back in the day.
What
Sasquatch.
are Native American like shamans called? Medicine men or whatever.
Yeah.
Apparently they would just like go off into the wilderness to become like one with nature or something. So they would get like semi-feral and have like long hair and
Seems
beards
like a
and everything.
really sort of basic way of putting it. They're just gonna become like
Yeah,
one
so,
with
like,
nature.
Where's the
or something.
Discovery Channel
Yeah,
is my question.
that's like a theory of like what these Sasquatches are. It's just like crazy mountain men or something
That's
just running
interesting.
around in the woods. Yeah.
Love that show with the normal guy and the barefoot guy, and every single 5 minutes the barefoot guy, like in the survival show, the barefoot guy's like, God damn, my feet hurt.
He's like, you all right, Ken? Stepped in a wine bottle. Fucking
Yeah, but
teenagers.
the thing I don't get with all these Sasquatches is it seems like more than half the people who like report them are like redneck hunters or whatever. It's like, why don't you shoot the fucking thing, man? I know you like shooting.
I know
shit.
you like shooting things, which only, takes away credence from you saying that you saw this, because I feel like if you had seen it, you'd have shot it.
Hey, Billy Bob, start recording. I'm gonna shoot this thing.
Get your iPhone out.
Yeah.
Keep shooting, fucking A.
Get your iPhone out so we can put this on Twitbook.
Yeah. And honestly, I feel like if I saw a Sasquatch like run across the road in real life, I would fucking floor it and just like run the thing over. I don't care.
I
if would
would probably freak out.
I'm gonna be fucking famous.
I don't care if it's a little kid in a Sasquatch costume.
Yeah,
There was way more laughter than that needed.
I don't care if it's Halloween and I see a Sasquatch, I'm fucking running it over.
Kitty homicide. Now we know what's funny to everyone.
Yep.
Have you like seen Finding Bigfoot on Animal Planet?
No, I've seen South Park talk about it, so I know the
Yeah,
gist
those
of
people
it.
are ridiculous. There's
I
my
know
God,
I know
that's hilarious.
I've seen videos of the one guy who like they portray as sufficiently disabled, and he's like, "Dog, it's a dog," or something like that. Wow, that I sound like I could feel the waves of asshole crash over me as I did that.
Yeah, everyone is judging me.
Yep.
It wasn't. If I did that in person, I feel like I'd also feel that. But now knowing that thousands of people, because we're big in Japan, are gonna hear this
always
podcast
Japan.
and hear me do that, I'm all of a sudden
Japan.
a little more
Japan.
self-conscious. But yeah, I know that one guy. I saw him and I was like, wow, South Park was not being mean. They were just sort of being accurate.
Yep. South Park
This
usually
guy
is.
Like,
Yeah, that's
and
the
then
weird thing.
The funny thing on that show is they like to replicate what they think a Sasquatch would sound like or whatever.
Oh,
And it just like they'll just yell into like the empty woods or whatever. They're like, oh,
This is the call. The scientific.
if you believe in Sasquatch or the concept,
The notion.
weirds you, if the notion terrifies you, we've come to the right place.
all these people who are like on the show just like suffer from severe cases of confirmation bias.
Yeah, but there's a I shudder to say decent, and I regret to say not bad horror movie, and I think it's just called Willow Creek, and it's basically about this husband, newlyweds, and the husband is obsessed with Bigfoot, and so he's like going out into the woods, and it's really shitty because it's one of those horror movies where 90% of it there's absolutely nothing involved until the very end when something that could be said by some to be scary happens. But if you're interested in the concept of Bigfoot. It was the last 10 minutes, which is when they decided to turn on the fact that it's a horror movie and not a very boring like indie movie.
Yeah.
It was pretty interesting because it's like the Blair Witch. They're in like a tent in the middle of the woods and they hear like wood blocks knocking together and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And like cooing in the distance. I was like, okay, this is good. But I didn't want to have to fucking trek through 69 minutes of that to
How
get to
long
this.
is a movie?
Oh, average like independent film length. Not independent film,
What,
but
so like 20 minutes?
not theatrical release film. Probably like an hour and 30 minutes, hour and 40 minutes.
Okay.
But there's another movie. I think it's called not Willow. Is it called Willow? Is Willow just a movie killer? It is. Is it? No, there's no way it's. Oh fuck. There's another movie. If it's called Willow, I'm gonna start telling people that Willow is the worst name for a movie.
I'll be sure to make
It
a...
has Val Kilmer in it.
No, not that.
Ooh.
No, it's not. I forget what it was called then. It's about this tree where. Okay.
His name is Harold.
Treebeard.
Is it called Hollow?
Harold.
Hollow.
For some reason, this is making me think of that awful Nicolas Cage movie, The Wicker Man. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. It's called Hollow, and it's about this tree where people
Oh, not Hallow.
hollow, yeah, where people kill themselves. And again, 90% of the movie is just found footage, handycam shit of people doing regular things. And there's not even any nudity to keep me involved. I'm just involved for the payoff at this point. And then the last 10 minutes, things happen, and they end, and the things that are happening aren't even that great. And I was utterly disappointed.
Sounds
And
like
this has
most
been
movies.
Andy Talks About Movies He's Seen That He Was Thoroughly Disappointed in.
The most
the
engaging subject we could possibly ever create.
And I'll tell you one more thing. I didn't like it.
That is weird.
We do need a movie review where we're just like, we watched the entire thing and did not enjoy a second.
And it was bad.
9 out of 10.
Search for this movie. Victim. The movie poster is like a woman that looks like she's naked, but she has band-aids over her nipples.
That's right, viewers. Go to Google right now and type in victim. And if that gives you the definition of victim, then, go back up to the search bar and type movie, because that's what I'm doing. And I see a black guy.
Yeah, that's a white woman.
It was in like a
with
very
Band-Aids on her
small
tits.
thumbnail, so I didn't see the band-aid, so I was like, how is this a movie poster?
Well, I think we're gonna cut it off here at this beautiful high point.
No.
Thank you very much for listening. And guys, thank you so much for being on the podcast here.
Yeah, thanks for having
Oh,
me.
I see it now. Those are Band-Aids.
Yeah.
Okay, goodbye everybody. Drive safe.
Bye.
Thanks.